watching Roadrunner for the first time, the Fet experts.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into round number 3 of the 2026 Race Tractor Gaming National Championship live here on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen Brower, and we're ready to bring you guys the action tonight from Thunder Valley MX Park in Lakewood, Colorado. This is always one of my favorite racetracks on the schedule. This is a track I actually did pretty well at when I used to race in the series. But excited to see how it goes here for the boys tonight. It's a fast racetrack. It is also a little bit grippier of traction. They're trying to mimic that elevation feel of the racetrack. So we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll also talk about the championship standings. But first of which, I'm going to try to get qualifying to load up because I don't know what's going on with the Battlegrounds website right now, but it's absolutely not loading for me. And also the RF website is unfortunately loading very slowly. So I guess while we do this, I'll quickly take the time to chat with you guys one-on-one, everybody who is at least here so far with us tonight. Great to have you with us. Hopefully you enjoy the show. But yeah, this is going to be our last SYS, at least from my side of it, last live stream of this championship, at least for a little while. I start covering real pro motocross races for Swap Moto Live as of next week when the series goes east, like fully east. So it's going to be pretty much impossible for me to dedicate a lot of time to this and still do that, which is the exact same story as last year. Supercross takes a lot less of my time. I still get to actually have dinner before this starts with my kids and everything like that for Supercross, but I haven't even eaten yet. We're just going right into this. And honestly, I'm a little bit under the weather this week, so just wanted to at least get one more stream off with you guys and, you know, hopefully send you on your way to the rest of the outdoors with whomever takes over from here with at least someone good to do it. But hopefully you enjoy the show, our last for a little while at least. And yeah, it's been good to have you guys. So I think it's now time to talk about qualifying, shall we? If we can get that pulled up on screen. There we go. Finally got it. Yeah, so these guys had, again, about a day of qualifying on this racetrack. I don't know why my Twitch chat isn't loading properly because I do see a couple of you guys talking on Twitch over there. But yeah, so these guys had about a day of qualifying on this track. Seth Carr absolutely obliterated top qualifying time over Cade Matherly and Wyatt Grant, the only two guys within 2 seconds of him. Everybody else is basically 3 seconds back with Cooper Hunt running a 1:57.8. I ran a 2:12 on this track after about 20 minutes of playing. You guys may have seen that on our Instagram earlier today. And yeah, I can't believe that he's going 18 seconds a lap faster than that. I could definitely see 10 there or thereabouts, which is what most people are doing, 10 to 12 seconds faster than a 2:12. But yeah, 1:54.96 is ridiculous. Obviously, Carr back in the catbird seat a little bit in this championship already as we head towards the East Coast rounds and looking rather sharp. Top 36 in qualifying, Chase Blakely, a 2:01.632. So that is the cutoff time if you're trying to run them in the server and you're looking. That is the time that you needed to get on a 450 to get there. But I don't know how easily that would be done because you had to be ripping. Here's the 250 times. And yeah, we're going to be seeing a big difference tonight in lap times from 250s to 450s, mainly because the traction is so grippy. They do this every year at Thunder Valley. There is no way to, you know, change the elevation and how much power the machines have in the physical game itself. So they manipulate that because this is Thunder Valley. It's over a mile high in terms of elevation. and they make the dirt a lot grippier so that you can't get runs, you can't get good speed. It's harder to carry momentum, and especially on the up and down hills of this racetrack, it's hard on a 250 to keep that momentum up. So, yeah, that's why you're seeing such a massive disparity between what the 450 lap times were on a regular scale and the 250 lap times. 2 flat 0.4 for Logan Leitzel going to the top of the sheets here over Braden Tharp and Elliot Person, who is, of course, our points leader coming in tonight. Oh, we just getting an update. They got to restart the Battlegrounds website, so there's a bit of a delay on that. Yeah, I noticed my score bug wasn't working properly earlier, so I wonder if that's part of what's going on with Battlegrounds right now. Anyway, I digress. So there's your top 250 times. As you guys can see, we'll go all the way down to 36th. Again, if you are trying to run some times and sneak your way in, Jax Lindsay, 2:05.585 was the time to beat, and I can't even believe that the time that I ran that felt pretty good was still 7 seconds slower than that on a 450. These guys are absolutely cooking, but we still have a pretty decent turnout. 55 guys ran laps, 56 entries, and then 450 class we had, wow, 64 guys run laps, 65 entries, which is pretty good for 3 rounds in. Normally, this is when you start to see a bit of that drop off. I feel like normally it's like high point, maybe even 1 round beyond that we start getting into not even needing consolation races. So really cool to see how many people are still trying to get out there and race these rounds every single week. And yeah, excited to see how these guys do here tonight. Take a look at the standings real quick. As I mentioned, Seth Carr, after winning last week at Hangtown, back in the driver's seat of this championship, 17 points up on Cade Matherly, Tyler Lang. Braden Carter, who I believe is not here this evening, was the points leader after round 1, drops to 4th in the standings with a so-so Hangtown, and then again, we don't expect him to be here this evening, I don't think, so drops him a bit out of this championship. And then 250 class, man, it's wide open. This is going to be a really fun title fight, although I did just see that Jackson Vick is not here tonight, according to defending champion Braden Tharp in our chat right now, saying no Jackson Vick, who enters tonight 2 points down of Elliot Person. Believe the first time we've ever had a Swedish rider on top in the points standings for this series. But Elliot Person, red plate holder tonight. Logan Leitzel trying to reclaim his title is fastest qualifier tonight, as we mentioned. And then Tharp, who's really trying to get back in the swing of things, down in 5th in the standings. But these guys could make a big impact here tonight on this Thunder Valley racetrack, and we are going to bring it all to you guys here tonight on Start Your System. So yeah, they're trying to get the server rebooted. I don't know. I guess the server's still open in here, so we're still just hanging out at Hangtown. I guess we'll just kind of hang out with you guys here while we wait for Battlegrounds to reload. And actually, I should probably do this while I'm thinking of it. Let me update the logs here so that I have the right racers in the right spot. So apologies, bear with me for just a second so I don't have this wrong. Should have done this before I started the stream, but was too busy setting up and forgot. That is my bad. Basically what I'm doing is just making it so when you guys are looking at the scoring bug, the right person has the red plate, which is really, really cool thing that the Battlegrounds boys put together so that we have this scoring bug. Although with the Battlegrounds website down, this might not even work. But we will see. There we go. Now it's back. There you go. You can see the scoring bug upper left-hand corner of your screen. Whoops. Why did that go all the way to the bottom? Right here. Okay, and then we also need to have oh god, which Elliot person is the points leader? There's like so many of them, and his okay. It is 50802. Okay. Just gonna say, Elliot Person, I'm very glad that I don't have my Race Factory Gaming window open because your profile picture on Race Factory is not suitable for all audiences, I will say that. Yeah, Quintino, I did get all the evolved skins. So, okay, UID grab in 1 minute. So we're just waiting up right now for these guys. But yeah, let's see if Battlegrounds website loads now. Boom, there it goes. Thank you, Luke Scheffler. You are the boss. Let's come back in here and hang out with you guys, shall we? What's going on, everybody? How's your evenings going so far? This is going to be a bit more of like a laid-back stream, hopefully, for me. I haven't even eaten dinner yet. My wife is going to be bringing up dinner here pretty soon. Can I show my Fortnite settings? I don't play no Fortnite. How old do you think I am? Oh, look at right on cue. I just said my wife's about to bring me food, and she's bringing me food. So thank you so much. Love you. You're the best. We got burritos and corn tonight. Yummy. Homemade tortillas at that, too. But yeah, so we're a little bit under a delay right now. The Battlegrounds website that is what hosts the race, the servers are through that, was down. They just got it back up, and bam, now we have UID grab. So this is, for those of you that have never been behind the scenes at an MX Simulator race, basically what they do is, was that UID grab or was this just a server reset? Okay, I'm still on the server. So behind the scenes, when you restart the server, it pulls a list of all the user identification numbers that are in the servers. So anybody who's ever bought MX Simulator, you know you have a UID. Most of them are in the 60,000s now, I think, which is crazy. But so that list shows up on the server logs, and then they take that list and compare it to the list of UIDs that were put in on racetractorgaming.com that you guys put in yourself when you register for the race. It pulls that list and compares it, and anyone who's in the server then gets ran through a script. That script then can regenerate who was in order, fastest qualifying down through, and then give us basically our Moto one. So here, like you can see in the server right now, it just pulled 112 UIDs. We have 17 rider 250 Consi. There is 250 Moto 1 with 36 guys. We have a 23 rider 450 Consi with those guys, and then there is the 36 riders in 450 Moto 1. So basically just the scripts kind of, order it and determine who's in, who's out, what's the right order for everyone to be in or out. And then you get this. It regurgitates it back into the server so you can use it. If you're an admin, you can run a script back into the server so that it basically grabs all the correct UIDs and then force specs everybody else. It also homologates you to the machinery that you're supposed to use, not 450 or 250. In this case, it's a 250 class, so it forces you to run a 250F or smaller machine. It has to homologate the 125 as well if you're going to run that. And then, bam, we load in 17 slots into the server to race a 4-lap consolation race. A little bit behind the scenes, it's been 13 years since I ran this race series while also streaming it, and that sucked, but everyone back then got to see firsthand what I was doing all the time because I was literally running all these files while streaming the race, and honestly, it sucked. I never want to run a race again. So shout out to all the people behind the scenes that crush it. Luke Scheffler, T. Lang, Caleb Hall did it for a long time as well. I don't know if he's still helping out too much with that. You guys are the real MVPs because I am definitely not into doing that anymore. So how fast am I at MXRSA TV Legends? Not good, man. Not very good at all. I'm starting to get insecure about our relationship, says Coda. Why? Why are you so insecure? Don't get so insecure. Thank you, Landon, for saying I look fresh. I feel like I'm pretty haggard right now, to be honest with you. When someone takes over the stream, will it be on another channel or this one? Honestly, if anybody who has streamed in the past, I know last year Talon did it. Jay-Z's done it in the past, but I know he's been racing lately. If they're interested in streaming to our stream key, I think that would be really cool. I don't necessarily want to force you to have to do that if you'd rather it be on your guys' own channels, but if we could keep kind of the same thing rolling and keep everybody here, that would be awesome. But I totally get it if you'd rather stream to your own channels. Again, if you're just joining us, this is going to be our last stream from at least me for at least a long time. I'm going to be traveling to pretty much all the races from next week onward, and it's really, really tough for me to travel to the races IRL and still stream this. I can try my very best to make it happen if it's financially worth it. But when it's not financially worth it, it's a massive time consumption on my family and all that stuff as well. So, but if someone wants to take over from here, by all means, DM me. We can try to figure something out. Hopefully that works. But I digress. Welcome into Thunder Valley, round number 3 of this championship. We're going to exit our intermission screen and enter our race stream because it's time for the 250 consolation race here at Thunder Valley. Again, I'm going to be trying to snag a bite or two to eat while we're calling these races, so apologies if you hear me munching. But I have not eaten dinner. Maybe I'll do that during a commercial break after this. But it is time to go racing here a mile high in Lakewood, Colorado. 4 riders go through. Everybody else is headed home early. We're off and running. That long uphill start straight, so critical to get off the line good here at Thunder Valley. And a lot of the KTMs in this consi are at the sharp end of the field. It is going to be Brendan Kelly with Tyler Perez at the bottom of the hill leading early here. Boots House teammates 1-2. Good to see them get off the line well. Nick Niles, Trevin Thompson up there in the mix as well. And a lot of discourse in Discord and on the forums about how much down on power these 250Fs feel at this racetrack with that grippier traction file as we lose Trevin Thompson out of the 3 spot. So this is our first look at how these 250s handle that really grippy traction that slows you down. Early runnings, though, it is Perez from Kelly, Niles, and Nygren. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, consolation races run just like last chance qualifiers do in Supercross. 4 laps, top 4 make it through. It's always interesting to me, like why they ended up deciding to go this route. You know, it used to just be the fast 40. The fast 40 times would make it in, and everybody else was out. But then they allowed some people to race their way in, and so it was fast 36 instead. I don't know if I like or dislike it. It is what it is. But we did have a little bit of crashing. Don't hear bikes on oh, my bad. I turned desktop audio off because I accidentally had sound playing in the background. My bad, my bad. Replacement pack. This is the replacement pack. Those KTMs are way different than anything I've ever used before. No? I swear I got the replacement pack. I gotta go find someone whose bike I don't have. I think I have everyone's bike in this race. Except this. This is not... I don't have this bike. So that's the replacement pack, isn't it? See, man, you're just coming at me saying I didn't get it. I am out here getting the replacement pack, sir. See, right here, Brady Olson in 2nd place. And that's the different alias gear. This is all stuff I don't have. That's the blue and white alias gear with the 60 helmet. Yeah, that... I got it, man. I got it. Come on, Coda. I'm here for you. All right. So again, only 3 laps remaining in this race. Got Tyler Perez, Brandon Nygren, Brady Olson, and Emmanuel Cepeda holding down transfer spots right now. Cepeda, we have not seen race a single national this year yet, I don't think. Was really good in Supercross, obviously low 2-digit number with 34. But not sure why we haven't seen him at any of the outdoor rounds just yet. Good to see him back, though. Moves up into that 3rd place because we did have a bit of a crash there from, I believe, Brendan Kelly went down as Nick Niles also tucks the front end, and here comes Raphael Provost, who is going to get a talking to from the admins. I always feel bad that this comes to this, but he's running the wrong number on his bike, the wrong number on the back of his jersey. He is number 449 in the server, but he's using some EU stuff, I think. So Niles on the 551 Underground RC Suzuki moves up into the final transfer spot. And Salas 175 in chat. That Suzuki has some power. Yes, they do. RM Army. But might get past anyway. Here comes Provost up the inside. Oh, he squeezes him against the mechanics area. Niles going to squeeze him back. Provost back up the inside. Can't get there. That's a good fight between these two. And this is awesome that it's for the final transfer spot as well. Outside lines galore on this racetrack. You've got to get your bike to the edge of the racetrack and hope as Provost gets up the inside. Little bit of a nudge. Makes that pass stick on Nick Niles. And Provost now into the final transfer position. And it's a long drag all the way back up the hill. On the rear fender, putting the power down. Looks like we may have lost Nick Niles off the back of this battle. Indeed, he went down. Gannon Lawson moves up to 5th. And that kind of breaks up a bit of a spell that we just had right there with those guys battling each other. But speaking of battles, we got one going on out front. Tyler Perez under attack from his Boots House teammate, Brandon Nygren. Now, Boots House, I associate most with the Nygren brothers, Brandon and Chucky. I don't know if they're brothers or if it's the same person or what have you. Not sure if that's who actually owns / runs the team. But if it is Brandon who does own the team, I'm sure he's going to be stoked to see his buddy out here leading the Consi as well. And right now they have 3 riders in this race, and 2 of them are in transfer spots. So unlucky to see Brendan Kelly fall backwards, but I think both these guys will be happy to make it in. White flag coming out next time by as well. So these guys only have 1 more lap left to make it happen, and you're seeing those outside lines really come to fruition. I got to back this out just a little bit. Oh, you're seeing behind the scenes. Oh no, breaking the 3rd wall. Now we got a little better onboard perspective here. I'll let you guys listen in on this lap here and see how Brandon Nygren revs his 250 around this track. Little bit of a mistake right there, and Perez is going to pull away. Do not have a battle, but we did actually have a change for the final transfer spot. Gannon Lawson has made it up to the 4th and final position. So something happened to Rafael Provost, and he might not make it in. Brandon Walter and Josh Crummett are also on the outside looking in. They've got to try to run down Gannon Lawson on this final lap. Not over until that checkered flag waves, and if you're Gannon Lawson right now, got a half a lap of some fingers that are probably twitching back and forth like crazy, and you're just begging the machine underneath you to stay on 2 wheels. I swear, MXM has a way of just eating you up when you least expect it. You feel like maybe you're comfortable in the game, you're back in that kind of tunnel vision mode, and then out of nowhere you just have a nasty crash. So if you're Lawson, you're just hoping that that weird kicker doesn't find you on this final lap of the race. But up front we go to this man, Tyler Perez, on his way to a consolation race victory here at Thunder Valley. And he'll be in the motos, and if the last few weeks are any indication, this win might actually propel him to some success here tonight. It is Perez who wins the Consi here at Thunder Valley. His teammate, team owner, manager, question mark, comes across in 2nd. Emmanuel Cepeda 3rd, and Gannon Lawson will survive, or does he? Look at Crummett, got right there. Wow, 1/10 in it. And I think there's not going to be penalties there. Crummett ran a 2:09.2 on the final lap of the race. What a run for him and his Evolve Yamaha, but I think it's going to be too short. Niles, Provost, Rage Quit right at the line. Seth Devers, Carl Robitaille, Brandon Walther, Brady Olson, Darius Peterson, Brendan Kelly, Nick Carvalho, Trevin Thompson, Tristan Powell, Nick Casella, and myself in warm-up mode, all not making it through. And yes, indeed, it does stick right there. Lawson makes it in by 1/10 of a second. Woo! Crummett almost got there, but falls just short as Perez wins this one. And now we roll into our 450 consolation race. I'm going to leave you guys. I'm not going to go to commercial break, but I'm going to try to take a quick bite of my food here real quick. So please hang tight. All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for bearing with me there. My wife made fresh tortillas from scratch tonight, and then some yummy burritos with crock pot chicken as well. Muy bien, I would say. It really helps to marry someone who wanted at one point to be a professional chef, because she has excellent culinary skills. All right. 450 Consti race coming up. There's a lot of people in this race, folks. 23 of them, including Penguin, who looks like Hayden Deegan out there. In fact, he's running Deegan's AMA skin. I don't think he knows that. Look, there's the Honda replacement pack. I got to find a Husky. There's a Husky replacement pack. And see, Coda, you were just so lost in the sauce, and you really thought I wouldn't come through for you. Shout out my boy, It's Thumper, coming through with his Prime sub. 8 months in it. It's Thumper is a G. All right. Big names in this one, as mentioned. Who makes it through? Tyson Fresquez is up here. We also got the 17 of Adam Holm, 71 of Devin Davis, and more ready to drop the gate. 450 Consi at Thunder Valley. Look at Adam Holm on the 17 wheeling up the hill to grab that hole shot. He's out front early. Caden Pankow, Jacob Arnbrister up the inside on the 138. Ashton Rakovsky with a good start. And Adam Holm looking like he's just prime 2018 Adam Holm. Back at it again. Kellen, what are your thoughts on the track this week? Are you a fan of the outsides? How can you be fifth wicked through most of them? Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely way less choppy, rough, if that's what you want to call it, than the first two rounds, which kind of was good and bad. Like, we had some good races, some bad, and I'm kind of curious to see how this one does this week. But I feel like, I don't know, I haven't seen anybody really be able to set up a pass yet because of how fast these outside lines are. So from a flow perspective, yeah, it's really cool, but I don't, racing-wise, we'll just have to wait and see. Yes, Rocket, these are like the IRL LCQs. In real life, they are also called consolation races, or consi for short. And they do it at every outdoor national now. So if you ever show up early enough to watch a real life outdoor national and you're like, why did they just drop the gate at 11:30 when the race starts at 1? It's because the consolation races are going. It's everybody that qualified 37th on back has to race their way in through the 4 remaining positions available on the gate. 4 laps on the racetrack, and right now we are watching it in MX Sim as Adam Holm is going to lead lap number 1 here at Thunder Valley in the 450 class. Caden Pankow, Logan Mortberg, and Jacob Arnbrister up there. There's Cody Wells, Carl Novak, Eli Block as well, Reed Young, Taylor Bell, got Tyler Moore up here on the 331, Anthony Pachone having a bit of a rough go, Sam Lancelotti, there is JGMX, Ashton Rakowski, Liam Atkinson, Dylan Gatlin, Damon Evans, Rogan McIntosh is way back here as well on the 59. Austin Bear having a bad start on the 99. Tyson Fresquez, my goat, back here as well. Will Now, Zach Prokop, Devin Davis didn't even make it past the downhill on lap number 1. Sad but true. The colors on the leaderboard, it depends. I don't quite understand how it works, but on Battlegrounds, I think you can set what your team is, like what team or what bike your team is running, quote unquote, in terms of like the green is obviously Cowie if your team is on that. But if you don't set your team, it just defaults to what you're running in the server, which everybody except for, okay, there's actually quite a few. There's 4 guys on the 20, or there's just 4 guys on the Honda dyno. Adam Holm, Caden Pankow in 4th, Eli Block in 6th, and Rogan McIntosh in 18th are all on the Honda dyno. Everybody else is on the Husky. So it comes down to what they set their bike as on Battlegrounds. You have to join the team on the site, and then it'll default to, as you can see, some of these guys on your leaderboard are on KTMs, because like Logan Mortberg here on Sunbelt is actually on a KTM. I don't know why Adam Holmes is white, though, because he's on the Honda dyno, but anywho, that's how it is selected. Got a battle for 4th coming. Never mind. Eli Block just slides out and Arnbrister front flips off him, so there it goes. 2 laps left to go, half distance in the consolation race, and the top 4 are gone with a capital G. Owen Adams let me know team has to be made on site and set to the bike your skins are, and you have to join it. So there you go. That's how they get the pack to show up on stream with the correct bike that you're using. Oh, Anthony Pachone picking up his first career overall win, according to our stat bug. And somewhere Lane Burks is panic coding. There you go. Got it up. New fastest lap, which is true. He did just run a 2:03.671. Oh, never mind. It's Luke Scheffler who's the one that messed that up. It's okay, Chef. Honestly, Luke, really, you should be running like a chef's hat as a butt patch in this game or something like that. Your name is too good not to be called the chef. Like, your name is literally Luke Scheffler. It works even better than kitchen. IMO. Oh, my nose is like so stuffy out of nowhere. Apologies, I just had to sneeze like 2 times. As I mentioned coming in, I'm a little bit under the weather, but if this is going to be my last race for a while, I really did want to at least say goodbye to you guys. So, powering through. As is Cody Wells powering past Logan Mortberg into 3rd place on the final lap of this race. I'm saying Scheffler, like if you're going to call someone the chef, the dude's last name is Luke Chef. Like his last name is Scheffler. So I feel like the nickname the chef fits better than calling Levi Kitchen the chef. Just saying. Just saying. Not saying he's better than Kitchen. I mean, yes, Rocket. I will be at Redbud. Look for me on the track side, shooting photos for Swap Moto Live. I believe my bib number is 11 this year. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Suppose that's true. Hey, shout out Brandon Nygren, $5 donation. Hope you make some of the later rounds for streaming. I'll try. I will try. But it is really kind of not my decision either, because my wife really wants me to be able to help out with the kids as well. And if I'm not getting paid to do it, it's not really in her best interest either. So, but I will try. I will try to at least make one of the 2 rounds that I'll be home for. But yes, I'll be at Budds Creek as well. And speaking of being at Budds Creek, maybe Adam Holm will be there. He's going to win the consolation race here at Thunder Valley in the 450 class. Caden Pankow will pick up a 2nd. Cody Wells 3rd. And Taylor Bell actually got in a 4th late here. Or did I miss? Who went backwards? Someone was up there, I thought. Is it Damon Evans? Or has Taylor Bell been there the whole time? Could have been there the whole time. But Adam Holm does indeed get the job done. Looking sharp. Go back here. Josh Crummett. Thank you for the $5 donation, good sir. Says, I was so close to making my first Pro MX race, sadly. You were. You were probably the closest anybody's ever been to making it, but not making it when it comes to the Conti races. You were a 10th down at the flag. That's really, really cool. So Jay-Z doing a backflip on the triple to throw a quali spot, new tech, showing his dedication to racing and possibly streaming. None. And Anthony Pachone shows up to let us know he hates the game. Poor Anthony. All right. We're going to be back on the other side of this quick break so I can eat some of my dinner. But we have the motos coming up in just a minute. So hang tight. We'll be back with more from Thunder Valley.
Have you been to the area's premier radio-controlled hobby shop and raceway? Underground Raceway and Hobbies in Great Northern Mall has 2 indoor tracks for racing at every experience level. Don't have your own car? No problem. You can rent one from us. When you're ready to get your own, we've got an on-site hobby shop with everything you need, including all the popular brands. Underground Raceway and Hobbies has kits for land, sea, and air. Cars, boats, planes, you name it. Come see us next to Dick's in the Great Northern Mall in Clay.
All right, welcome back, everyone, in studio with your boy, Kellen Brower. We are ready to drop the gate here in just a minute for the 250 class action from Thunder Valley. 250 Moto 1 coming at you here in one moment. Want to give a quick shout-out to McStovepipe. $10 donation in the chat. Gonna miss you, big dog. I'm gonna miss you guys, too. But I'm not, like, leaving. I'm not dying. I just can't stream all these races, unfortunately. I'm trying my best out here. But if that's my guy, Keel McStovepipe on Twitter, shout out to you. Always love the Twitter questions you send to the Pulp MX show. And everything else you put on Twitter. It's always a good read. So thank you again for the support. Thanks, everybody who's been tuning in all year long. And now we get to roll into 250 Moto 1, which I did not put the graphic up. There we go. And is Elliot Person here? They qualified well. Yeah, he's here. Okay. 33rd. And I should actually probably do this real quick and make sure that this is correct. Refresh a cache real quick. Okay. I'm not going to bikes, Luke. This same thing happened last year where people thought, oh, he quit sim to go to bikes. It's not true. It's so hard to stream these outdoor races because, like, again, with Supercross, we start basically an hour later and we finish a half hour earlier. So I kind of actually get like a night to hang out with the family and the kids and everything like that still. And on top of that, I get to see my wife before she falls asleep because she goes to bed at 9. And these races end at 9, basically. So it's tough, man. We'll see you for the playoffs, yeah. We'll be back. All right, I got messages in Discord. For what reason, we'll find out in a minute. Sick. We forgot to send the gear. I'm not going to be able to get to that before the first moto. I'm not going to bikes. But shout out my guard Saru, who's coming through with some sick stuff for our MX Bikes program. We just added our guy Ols this week as well. Jeremy Henners is back. All kinds of awesome people helping out with the team. And I very much appreciate it. All right, it is time to drop the gate here at Thunder Valley. Moto number 1 is coming at you up the uphill. Who gets the stats guy whole shot? Elliot Person and Cash Woods are there first. It is going to be Cash Woods, District Designs, number 14, to the early race lead at the bottom of the hill, and he controls it with a line around the outside. Elliot Person collides actually with Tharp in transition going up to the step-up. Tharp is able to get back on the track, still in third place. Gets crossed up by Dylan Dallaire. Padani is up there on the 33, but it's Cash Woods leading early. Did I not do game audio again? I'm sorry, guys. That's my bad. My bad. The game audio's back. My bad. So it is Cash Woods from Elliot Person, who has been a force so far in this 250 Outdoor Championship, getting great starts, being in the mix. He hasn't won an overall yet. Or no, he won last week. He won the overall last week, excuse me. But he did not win a moto. And now he's going to try to go to the race lead. Oh, man, Cash Woods just threaded the needle to still get that triple. Woods, Person, Dallaire, Tharp, Padani, the top 5 early, and they're getting away from everybody else. Where is the 3 of Logan Leitzel. Man, he had a decent start, I thought, and he's absolutely buried in 37th place right now. So tough break for your fastest qualifier. He's got some work to do as these boys are out front ripping, dude. You know what absolutely rips now that I'm in my 30s is the 250 class in MX Simulator as Cash Woods leads lap number 1. Elliott Person is right there, man. And here comes Dylan Dallaire. Outside to in on the start straight. Gonna get a good line coming back down the hill. And Elliott Person's in a bit of a sandwich right here, though. Fortunately, the man right behind him is his iSpec teammate. Person now opens up a bit of a gap, and actually Tharp took advantage of a mistake from Dallaire. He moves up to 3rd, and Padani now into 4th on that number 33 Underground RC Suzuki in the background. So as these three now start working away from the rest of the pack, might they find themselves in a battle with each other? Because here comes Braden Tharp. Let's go on board with the one. Watch his perspective of our 2 race leaders. Whoa, exit stage left goes Elliott Person. That was really odd. He just kind of disappeared off that rut. Able to get back on the track right behind Tharp. And is going to battle him. Look at inside option here. Whoa, that actually worked. As he shoots down and passes him back and then goes to the outside to actually open the gap back up a little bit. So as Cash Woods starts to pull away out front, these two battling each other. This is the best we've seen Tharp get a start this season so far. His starts have been really his Achilles heel. And just as you thought maybe he had that pass on Elliott Person done, Elliott Person responded and said, "No, sir. This is my position. You got to fight me and take it out of my hands." So off he goes. Fight for 4th brewing a bit between Padani, Dylan Dallaire, and here comes Luke Sullivan as well. District Design's teammate right there to our race leader, Cash Woods. There is Nicholas Beckstead in a good position in 7th early on. And Padani's definitely feeling the heat, man. Dallaire picking it up from that little mistake that he made basically a lap ago right here. Trying to get the ball rolling. Outside line, going to charge down this right side of the downhill. Very smooth off of this single jump. It is really choppy on the left side that we just saw the 33 of Padani take, and now he's getting a little sideways in front. But now Dallaire misses the rut, and Luke Sullivan's going to try to get down the inside. Oh, man, that was really close between those two. We got Sully inside line right here. Works to the outside here, and he's going to have a good drive up to the uphill triple. Lays it over and gets into Dallaire, who crossed up on the triple. Sully gets going, but not before they both lose a position to Nicholas Beckstead, and now they're racing each other one position further back. And Dallaire holds the spot, so he cross-jumped them, took them both down, and still has Sullivan behind him. Now Beckstead is going to be bar to bar with Dallaire. Dallaire's just going to triple right by him as Beckstead comes up a bit short. Battle for 2nd on again, and Person has been passed by Tharp this time, or has he? Watch Person up the inside here. He's going to try to just go right back up the inside. He takes him out! Wow, where did that come from? No place for Tharp left to go. Ran him out of racetrack and put him off the track. Interesting this early on in the championship to have that gamesmanship going on. But I guess if you're Elliott Person right now, you're feeling it, and you don't want anybody else to take that feeling away from you. Person has yet to run a valid lap. Whoops. How do you know that? Oh, yeah, because of timing and scoring. Interesting. Yeah, no best lap time yet, so he's been off the track every single lap. Cash Woods, by the way, up front, new fastest lap of the race, 2:03.570. So yeah, now that Tharp has been schmooted, as iMoto in chat kindly put it, kind of curious to see how he responds to that and whether he goes wild. Ooh, that's him definitely going wild. He's not going to get the triple here. And losing even more ground to Elliott Person, who, by the way, is absolutely running Cash Woods down for the race lead. Well on board with him, and you can see Cash Woods up ahead. This lap time might be an absolute burner if it's what I think it might be, as long as he stays on the track. Sheesh! 2:01.9. We're down in the quali lap times now, folks. 2 flat was the best lap time they put down in qualifying. And Elliott Person lights up my timing sheets purple. Only runner in the 2:01s, nobody else even in the 2:02s. And Elliott Person says, I see your 2:03.570, Mr. Cash Woods, and I respond with this lap time, good sir. Where is Mr. Joey Carter? That's an excellent question. He is in 28th place right now. Tough start for him. Just getting the ball rolling. And for those that are keeping track of the number 3 of Logan Leitzel, you can see he's now up to 19th. So he's in the points after being 37th on lap number 1. We'll see how far our fastest qualifier can get, though. Still doesn't look like he's had clean air to do a good lap, though. 2:10. Still his best when 2 flat was his quali time. So now seeing that time from Elliott almost makes me wonder if the punt that he put on Tharp was more of a, I just don't want to be stuck behind you because I think I have the speed to go. And now he's going to have the speed to lead because down goes Cash Woods. Led for almost 10 minutes and the ruts reached up and bit him. So the 14 machine hits the deck. And your new leader is our points leader, Elliott Person, to the front for the iSpec Husqvarna program. So now Tharp, who, by the way, is running a very good lap. This could also go on the board as well, as we see live points as they run with no Jackson Vick here tonight. He's going to drop from 2nd back to 7th after 1 moto. And a 15-point lead for Elliott Person as it runs. So 2:04.7 for Tharp, 2:05.7 randomly, though. Elliott Person goes 4 seconds slower this lap than he just did for that lap that pulled him within a few tenths there of Cash Woods before he went down. So an interesting chess match going on at the moment, where I think Elliott might be trying to stabilize into a bit of a race pace, but obviously Tharp's still charging. There's Badani, there is Dallaire. They are still that far apart. Here's Rasmus Balzer, the Rumus number 19 rider out of Denmark. And this is, again, one of the first times we've seen him really up here in the mix when it comes to the outdoors. Very, very talented Supercross rider. Pointed out of the 250 class after won 250 East title and almost backing it up the following year. Oh, my guy Whisker Biscuit is in the chat. Love to see it. Honestly, I really need a soundboard because we still use that later Whisker Biscuit drop in my Discord all the time. Like, I might even jump in my Discord to be able to use it right now. I think I might take myself up on that offer. See if I can find it, though. It's a lot of them. Later, Whisker Biscuit. There we go. Gotta love it. Oh, we got Tharp on the deck. So Tharp just laid it down out of... He was up to second, remember, with the Cash Woods crash. But now Tharp has crashed his way back into third and instead is going to feel the heat from Johnny Tsunami. Here comes Padani up into fourth with Dallaire. Right with him, you can see three riders on your screen going up the hill. And these 250Fs, man, they are just absolutely trying to wheelie as far as they can up the uphill. Yeah, Filler, this has always been the way it goes in MX Sim. You got to pick the bike up. It automatically does it. So you crash, your legs fall off the bike, and eventually you stay there stationary, and then your foot gets placed back on the bike, and the other foot kind of picks the bike up for you, but it takes a little bit of a while. But Donnie just dealing with the heat out of Dylan Dallaire. Yeah, we'll try to show you, Filler, next time somebody actually goes down, kind of what it looks like. In fact, I could probably go find somebody crashing right now. Right here, maybe? Yeah, there you go. Oh, he didn't fall off. Just slide out. There's Logan Leitzel, though, up to 14th. This is your fastest qualifier. 37th on lap 1. We are not quite halfway yet. And he's made it up to 14th. Good salvage ride already. That's not going to work, though. And there you go. So this is going to be a legs off. So you see he flops off to the side of the bike. And then eventually he puts the leg on, and then the left leg kind of pushes him back up to get going again. So you never actually fall completely off the bike. Your hands will always stay on the machine. But after you are stationary for about 5 seconds and your legs can stop moving long enough to actually place them back on the bike, that is when it starts auto picking it back up. But there's still plenty of ways once you do that to crash again. You really have to take your time with it because the leg only can pick the bike up so fast, and if you drop the clutch and let it eat too early, you can slide out, loop out really quickly again. So it's definitely an interesting little technique in the game. Back to our race leaders. We've reached the halfway point, and I think now is a good of a time as any to give you guys a quick run through the field, at least for our points paying positions here in Moto number 1 here at Thunder Valley. 250 Moto number 1, that is. Elliot Person leads the iSpec number 82, your points leader. And yeah, quick reminder to you guys at home, in case you just are oblivious to the world around you, Monster Energy now available at basically anywhere you go. I don't think that needs to be told to us on the broadcast, but in case you were looking for it, now available wherever you might end up. So it is Elliot Person leading, Cash Woods in second, District Designs number 14. And Braden Tharp in third. These are your two Supercross champions right here. West and East in order. And of course, your reigning outdoor champion, Tharp, TSCZ Productions. Dylan Dallaire in fourth for iSpec, making it an iSpec 1-4 right now. Oh, check that, 1-3. Dallaire goes around Cash Woods, who just picked it up from a crash. And Johnny almost lands on him. So Johnny Padani, Underground RC, Suzuki rounds out your top 5. Ryan Chowsey, Sunbelt, number 26 in 6th. For those MX Bikes players that are tuning in for the first time with us tonight, this is Washed right here. 3-time MXB GP champion and an absolute ripper in MX Bikes as well. Also comes over to the sim side and shreds us as well. Running 6th place right now. Rasmus Balzer, Rumus, number 19, a.k.a. world record holder for all the stock tracks in the game as of right now. May or not be making a video about this because it is incredible what he just decided to do again this week. Running 6th place right now in the game on Thunder Valley. Moto number 1 here, the 250 class. Ryder Dorigo, Sunbelt 56, running in 7th. 8th place for Luke Sullivan, District Designs number 11. 9th place for Jack Mark as he goes down on the finish line jump. The number 40 Orth's ride. Going to lose at least 1 position to Killian Ortiz. Summit Factory number 31 shoots up into the top 10 with that mistake. Dan White, TSCZ Productions number 180 goes to 11th. Jack Mark back to 12th. Logan Leitzel has climbed all the way to 13th on number 3 Yogi Designs Honda. 14th for Ryder Bednar, District Designs number 58. 15th is Nicholas Beckstead on the Blackout Decals 164. 17th, maybe not. I don't know. They're getting tossed around a little bit back here. So Jake Spieth actually goes to 16th now, District Designs number 15. 17th for Caden Kepke on the Sunbelt number 45. 18th for Bodie Parker on the Yogi Honda number 32 as he almost goes down. Colin Allen, Cookie Monster number 72 and 19th. Noah McLaughlin on the 261 Turner Designs program is in 20th. But that's not all, folks. There is 1 point given out for 21st place now. And it goes to Antonio Velati right now, Sunbelt number 57, which again, for those MX Bikes players maybe being here for the first time, this gentleman right here is known as Merked, M3RKED, former SYS Racing MX Bikes team member. I don't know who he rides for in bikes now, but he's up to 20th here at Thunder Valley. And that is your run through the field. Here, a mile high in Colorado. All right, so Elliot Person looks like he just had his first big oopsies of the moto. 214.9 last time by. He is on SPX. Okay, so there you go, Merked, SPX. Would shout out SPX Suspension, MX Bikes, the official suspension brand for the SYS Racing MX Bikes team. And our new shining stars, including Oles, Binks, Saru, Hemi, sometimes me, but I suck at the game, so really all those guys. And we thank SPX for the support. Man, Elliot Person is just laying it down. And speaking of laying it down, Braden Tharp has gone down in 2nd place again. Every time it seems like we go back to him to say something good about him, he finds the ground. Will retain 2nd place, but once again, just more problems for the champ. Not what he wanted here tonight, that's for sure. Look at this fight right now for the 3rd position. Final step of the podium as Padani tries to get alongside Cash Woods. They are both right behind Dylan Dallaire going down the hill. Thrap down indeed, Brock W. Thrap down indeed. And now Woods down. Woods down as well. Gonna lose a position to Rasmus Balzer in the process. Hey Kellen, why don't you and Awood join the weekly track races hosted by JLV? It's every Thursday with very respectful racing, usually 3 motos each, 7 to 8 minutes. Well, to echo what Awood just said, I suck at Sim Go 55. I would, but I think it's at a bad time for me. Isn't it like in the evening right around now? I mean, I'm already taken away. Time from the wife and kids to do this on a Wednesday. You tell me I'm going to go play it on Thursday too? I don't know, man. I don't know about that, Chief. Tharp was down again, by the way. And here comes Dylan Dallaire, who, after an early mistake while he was up here, has spent basically the entire race since then inching back to this position. And now he's going to get the spot because Tharp was down, but Dallaire had to go off the track. Awkward re-entry, but he gets it. And Badani around the outside is also going to get Tharp. Thrap down again. Does he get Badani back as they charge down the downhill? Badani inside, Tharp on the outside. Which line works? Well, Tharp's not going to work it at all as he almost goes down. And that is how the cookie crumbles. So instead, we have a battle for second place brewing because here comes Badani. And unfortunately, Dallaire was blocked by a lapper. Padani's going to get alongside of him. Somehow, Dallaire still got the triple. Badani's going to try to rip this middle rut, but that inside is just too OP, and Dallaire holds on for the time being. So the fight for second continues. 7 minutes and 2 laps left to go in this race. Wow, Badani, the rear end, went a little wayward there, and we're into lappers galore. Our leader, Elliott Person, by the way, also buried in lappers. He's got 2 or 3 guys on either side of him. He's trying to put a big enough gap between that sentence to not make it sound too bad for our guy out front. But I think it still comes across as the way you don't really want it to. And that noise that you hear in the background is Aaron Kreese clipping that for the SMX.com account. Oh, man, look at Tharp around the outside getting a run. And he's going to get Badani as well. That is a nifty little move for the champ. Sneaking up on these guys as they have their troubles. Oh, lappers blocking Tharp there a little bit. That was a 24 of Hayden Stevenson, which, by the way, they've already lapped up to almost 24th place in this moto. Badani just right in the shadow, basically, of Tharp, and now pulls up alongside. Tharp just barely beat him to the punch. And these lappers are like, can you guys get going, man? I got a race going on here, too, as there's a crossover from these two in the air. And Badani sees the front end disappear over the rut. There goes Cash Woods up into the 4th position. And Badani will get going just before Ryan Cheesecake Chelsea gets there. So Chelsea's inched his way back into almost a top 5 position. Could he still have a shot at it late? I think he could. And there are the points as they run. Person has opened this thing up quite nicely, but it is very close behind that. And if you're Jackson Vick, you're kind of like, well, I mean, I'm missing tonight, but right now, after one moto, I'm only 10 points behind second in the standings. It's not all that bad, and if Elliott Person has some bad motos coming up, if you're Jackson Vick, you might still have a shot at it. But this guy is just laying it down out front, man. 18-second lead. He had another bad lap last time by. I really do think he's kind of hit a bit of a wall when it comes to the lappers. Dylan Bollinger would be next. He just lapped Ryan Rich on the 100 right there. Just taking his time, weaving through the lappers. Back to the battle for second. Dallaire and Tharp. The 12 is Dallaire. The 1 is Braden Tharp. And I don't want to say anything about Tharp because every time I do, it seems like he finds the ground. So we'll just go watch Dallaire, see how he handles the pressure of the champ being on his tail feathers. Lapdrider going down in front of him, so Dallaire going to have to take an awkward dive to the outside. Ended up in a line he wasn't really wanting to go to. And Tharp just kind of high-centered on that rut right there. Crosses back over very awkwardly again. And just lost himself a bunch of time because he cased that triple as well. Yeah, J-Vic not racing tonight. I'm not sure why Jackson Vic isn't here because he was only 2 points down in the championship coming in behind Elliott Person. But maybe that was always going to be in the cards. He wasn't going to be able to make every race, which I do understand. I really do. Any battles anywhere at all? Can I get a battle? Got a spare battle hanging around somewhere? Looks like Ryan Chelsea just went down. Ryder Dorigo is going to go by his teammate. Leitzel all the way up to 9th, and that might be it. Well, it's definitely not going to be any higher than that now because he just went down again. And Dan White goes by. Luke Sullivan goes by. Does Jack Mark get by? No. So Leitzel picks it up in 11th. And this moto is a good salvage ride as a whole, but it's going to take a big hit when he was only 5 points down the championship entering. And Elliott Person, who is the championship leader, is still winning in this moto. Oh, hang on. Battle for second is back on again out of nowhere. So Dallaire, who seemingly has ran into some issues here, is back under attack by the number 14 of Cash Woods. And interesting point Luke Sheff just made in chat, how much the track has slowed down thanks to the erode. And it's a lot as Cash Woods goes down. These guys were 201, 203s were the best early in the race. There are two guys in the 209s right now, and everybody else is 210, 211 on back. So, interesting how much this track has changed because the roughness of the track has increased, which means the high-speed stuff they were doing early on isn't working anymore. And it's kind of making everyone have some late changes to their plans as somebody just got absolutely yeeted off the track over here, and did they just both disconnect? Where'd they go? They must have. Somebody just got sent in the background of that. I was looking at Dallaire and someone got absolutely lit up. And now they're both gone forever. Interesting. So I don't know what just happened right there. But I do know it is still Dallaire from Tharp, second and third. Cash Woods, bit of a distant fourth now, but Johnny Padani is starting to wind it up late. He could get back into the mix. Thank you, Sour Greaseball, for reminding me to hydrate. '42 machine is Jackson Lindsay, 27th place. Just trying to not necessarily be a hindrance to Padani, but also not too worried if he gets back around him, I guess. Got to get a good stretch in after this moto. Honestly, you know what I should do? I have a standing desk. I wonder if I stood up for a moto, I'd have a little bit more energy. I'll have you guys rise up with me between the motos. Logan Leitzel update. 209 last time by. Pretty much one of the 204 last time by versus a 209 for the leaders. I misread that. So Leitzel, it was ripping, just went down. There's a chance he was going to run down Ryan Chowsey. He literally just went 14 seconds a lap faster than him last time by, but now he's 13 seconds behind him. Jackson was the one who got sent. Jackson. Ooh. Oh, Jackson Lindsay. Got it. All right, so now 7.8 seconds back. Is there a late charge still on the docket here for Leitzel as he goes to send the big triple? He's cooking. He's cooking. No, Sorrow. I'm not going to pull the power cord out of the outlet. I've done proper wire management for my standing desk. My wife and I both have a standing desk in our office. That was sick! Logan Leitzel just barrel rolled into the canyon, absolutely not on purpose. But he did it nonetheless. That's what happens when you get a rut wrong and just pray that the loop around gets you there before you land on the ground. I don't think he lost a single ounce of time right there. Might still give him a late shot here to run down Balzer or Chowsey, who, by the way, are battling each other. No qualms up front, though, and white flag about to be in the air for our race leader. So 1 lap to go this time by for Elliott Person. Putting Sweden on the map in MX Simulator. Once again, I should say, they had some good teams, I feel like, back in the mid-2010s. Some absolute rippers on that program. But Elliott Person has come out with a vengeance in this outdoor championship and said, I don't care how many wins you have, Braden Tharp, and I don't care how fast you go, Dylan Dallaire. And I don't care if you're racing professional motocross in Canada, Logan Leitzel. I'm here to win. I am here to win this title. And he means it with his whole chest. So this is going to be his first moto win of the season, and dare I say the most dominant moto win so far we've seen in either class. I know Seth Carr had a pretty good one last week, but this one is far and away been Elliott Person for most of this moto, and going to see his championship lead balloon out to 17 points after this moto alone. Navigated the lappers quite well. And has just put his foot down on this class after this first moto. They are going to need to figure out something to stop this kid and the run that he is on lately. And now finally he's going to have a moto win in his back pocket to say, hey, I can beat you guys in any of these motos, and I'm going to keep working this points lead out until I win this title. Here it is. Elliott Person wins 250 Moto 1 here at Thunder Valley. Dallaire's still second, making an I-Spec 1-2. We have a late battle for third. Here comes Cash Woods. And the Supercross champs are going at it on the final lap. Oh, Woods just rips these outsides. It's going to be right behind him as they hit the bottom of the hill. Still taking this outside line, getting the power down, coming into the final corner. Does Tharp go defensive? He does. They're both going to the inside. Wood's got the inside rut. Oh, it's going to be Tharp by a nose, and I think it stays that way after penalties. Whoa, here's Dorigo and Padani coming at it for 5th place. And Balzer's right behind them. And if any of these guys go down, watch out for Logan Leitzel back there as well. 3 riders coming to the line, battling for 5th place. Who's it going to be? Does someone just rip the outside? It's going to be Balzer who's going to try it. No, Padani goes wide. Dorigo hooks the inside rut. Oh, and Padani flips over the line but stays up. Oh, and Leitzel was down, so Chelsea gets another spot. He ends up in 8th, and Leitzel will be 9th. So P9 for Leitzel, generic name Dan White. We'll round out the top 10. Colin Allen, Jack Mark, Killian Ortiz, Luke Sullivan, Bodie Parker, and Noah McLaughlin in the points bank positions through 16th that stayed on the lead lap. You got to go all the way back with Ryder Bednar, Jake Spieth, Antonio Velati, and Dylan Bollinger to wrap up our top 20. Joey Carter does salvage 1 point in this moto. But man, Elliott Person looks tough to beat. First career moto win, and does it to extend his championship lead. Looking sharp for the super fast Swede on the 82. All right, that is 250 Moto 1 in a nutshell here from Thunder Valley. We're going to send you guys to a quick commercial break. We'll be back on the other side of this with the 450 action coming up next here from Thunder Valley and MX Simulator.
With decayed leaves, old roots. Over many more years, these bits mixed, turned into something new. Dirt. This dirt was special, and the cycle of life continued.
Welcome back, everyone, into the booth with your boy, Kellen Brower, here from Start Your Systems. We are ready to bring you guys the action from 450 Moto 1. But before we do that, it is time to raise the roof in the studio, folks. So here we go, shall we? Oh, we're ready. We're so ready. So ready for Moto 2. Moto 1 of the 450s. Oh, man. Good stuff. Hopefully I don't get clipped for DMCA of that, but our desk is up. So now you guys are in the roof here with me, basically. And we are ready to go racing for 450 Moto number 1. Your PC is on the ceiling now. Am I okay? That's funny. That's how I feel though every day when I rise my desk up. I'm sitting here, I'm working, and then my desk just slowly rises up. I like standing desks though. Does anybody else have one? I feel like that's so not a gamer thing. You're like, nah, why would I stand, man? I'm too busy playing Fortnite and Call of Duty, or in my case, Halo, apparently. All right. Are you guys ready? Moto 1 time here at Thunder Valley. Who's going to get the whole shot? Going to come from the far inside. We got some big names up there, including the one. Let's drop the gate. 450 Moto 1 is off. Well, the one machine gets there first, and he is gone. Seth Carr with the stats guy. Oh, shit. See you later, buddy. He's out front. It is Nerona second, Alec Horn third, Jeremy Siebold in fourth, and a lot of guys going down in that transition, including Siebold, who we just saw. So it's Carr, Nerona, Horn, Castellaneta, Mills, the top five. What a good start for D-Mills up here. Wyatt Grant absolutely buried early on. For those keeping track, is commentator's curse. Down goes Daniel Mills. So now it is the Seth Carr show out front. Buckle up, everybody. Is this going to be a Tomac-esque first Moto Thunder Valley 2015 ride here, perhaps? Second Moto, we don't talk about that anymore. Distant memory, unfortunately. But the first Moto, whew, was Eli gone there as well. And Nerona, though, has been very good on the 16 Twizy Kawasaki through the first couple of rounds. I don't have his gear, but honestly, it looks pretty sick. They're supposed to be in One Industries gear, but like the Alias blue and white that he has on with the One Industries helmet, showy, honestly, a pretty clean look. I ain't gonna lie. All right, first lap on board with the car after the finish. We got an update. Dicey in chat wants to see it, so let's see it. This might be basically a quali lap right here. It's when the track is fresh, and this is how Seth Carr knows how to approach it. So maybe I'll just shut up and let you guys listen. Have fun. He ran a 154 in qualifying. This one looked pretty good. It is a 157.6. Seth Carr is gone. 8-second lead after 2 laps. Noronha did a very respectable 2:01.2 and then immediately almost goes down after the finish line jump. Here comes Braden Castellaneta. He's going to get there as Noronha gets back on the racetrack, but not quite close enough to make a pass just yet. Austin Partolo with a good start in the 4th position early on with Alec Horn rounding out our top 5. And all these boys are, hate to say it, but I feel like in a race for 2nd place at this point in time. And, oh, Noronha's down. So speaking of that race for 2nd place, it's Noronha that folds it up and hands it over to Braden Castellaneta. Just for reference, I get it, it's the first lap as well, so a lot of guys maybe didn't get the cleanest of laps. Nobody was within 4 seconds of that lap that we just saw out of Seth Carr out front. Yep, there you have it. 4 seconds gained over everybody on a single lap. I do, Luke Chef, I do need a Liat's athlete's position. So Castellaneta, Partolo, this is a really good start for Austin Partolo right now. RL, number 83. He is right there behind Braden Castellaneta, which also shout out to my guy Ben Kafa. 10 Aussie bucks. Very much appreciate that. Honestly, I might go buy myself a pint with that 10 Aussie bucks, courtesy of you. Can't race anymore due to work, but love tuning in. You're the GOAT. No, you're the GOAT for that donation. Thank you so much for the support. And look at that. Off-track excursion for the 22 of Castellaneta allows Austin Partolo up through. And it looks like we maybe had a car mistake of some kind. 2:07.9. I wouldn't put it past him that was a legs-off crash and still has a 6-second lead. So literally in a single lap, technically lost no time because he was about 8 seconds up. Now it's 6.7. I don't know, man. Good start for Alec Horn right here. The Nexus number 37. I might stop talking about people, though, because he almost went down as soon as I said his name. Sonny Spicer inside the top 5 for SwapMotoLive.com. And here's Tyler Lang on the 5. JIBR.co Yamaha, your 2021 Race Tractor Gaming National Motocross Champion. Hence the number 5. And he's starting to get the ball rolling a little bit. 2:03.4 last time by. Not the quickest on the racetrack, but quickest of some of the front group up here. And he's putting the heat on Sonny Spicer now for this top 5 position. Oh my goodness, that was kind of a double-edged sword of mistakes right there. I thought T-Lang might be going for a ride, then Spicer almost laid it down in the rut. 3 different rut options right there. And here comes Noronha after his crash to get back in the mix now from 7th. Down was Alec Horn on the 37th, so they all scoot by him. And actually T-Lang also got by Spicer. Where? I didn't even see Spicer. Okay, there he is. He's back behind Horn now. He must have went off the track. I didn't see it. So Spicer now dealing with Alec Horn. Look at this freight train coming right here. We got Dustin Garrett, Walter Gebhardt, and Cade Matherly. Gebhardt gives the business to Dustin Garrett. Walter Gebhardt never has given an inch of racetrack to any of his competitors and didn't do so there either. So he's on a mission right now. We do have a Wild Matty B sighting right now. 16th place for him as down goes Alec Horn again. So he goes from battling inside the top 5 to 12th in a single lap. Here's your point standings as they run. T-Lang would pass Cade Matherly, but Matherly is starting to make some good moves through the field to get back into the mix up to P7. So Matherly on the charge, 2:05.0. We have a new fastest lap of the race out front, by the way, 1:57.375 for Seth Carr, your race leader on the number one. Cooking, absolutely cooking right now. 18-second lead over this man, Castellaneta, who just got back around Partillo. Partillo did run a 1:59.6. Is still the only guy on the racetrack to dip below 2 minutes, other than Seth Carr, and then immediately crashed the very next lap. So that just shows the pace that he has to even go to try to stick with Carr. And I wonder if Carr is about to put down something else ridiculous. So we'll stay on board with him to finish this lap up. Because now the track is right about where its peak might be. I think it's only going to get slower from here because it's starting to get rougher. But the ruts are dug out just a little bit bigger in some of the corners too. So it might be a little bit faster. Again, 54 was his quali time. And he goes 58.8. So yeah, I think we might already be just past the crest. But still running some ridiculously good lap times. Arona is starting to reel back in T-Lang. There is Gebhardt and Matherly, maybe our closest battle right now. So let's stick with them for just a minute as Gebhardt has the rear end dance on him coming into that corner. And Gebhardt off the racetrack. Kind enough not to jump back in as Matherly was right there. So Matherly now continues on in the 6th position, gaining a little bit more points back towards T-Lang and their fight for second in the championship. How about this for the SwapMotoLive.com Suzuki boys? Sonny Spicer, John Heilman. 8th and 9th on the racetrack right now with a nice charge coming from Wyatt Grant. Now, Wyatt Grant was absolutely buried early in the race outside of the points, and he's already made really good amends through the field, getting all the way up into 9th now, as I think I just saw Alec Horn flipping in the background again. And Grant just got both of the Swap Moto Suzukis in one foul swoop. He's up to 8th. One of the few guys that pace-wise seems to be able to kind of go with Seth Carr, but the inexperience, it has hurt him a little bit this year. The thing about the Mathis and the I don't know man and the cool man and all that stuff like that he uses all the time, like me and Mathis and Lewis, like we were saying that stuff to each other all the time in the press box for like a long time before he made it a segment, which is why he made it a segment, because it was something that we would always do. Like, I think I remember back in 2023, I think it was, I was in the press box with them, and Steve was trying to tell us something about, man, look at RJ Hampshire out there. Look at RJ Hampshire, blah, 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 blah. He kept saying RJ Hampshire, and Lewis and I are looking at each other like, what is going on? Because the Supercross Futures riders were on the track. So it was actually Landon Gibson that was out there, not RJ Hampshire at the time. And Lewis and I are like, are you okay, man? And Steve finally realized it and goes, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. And so, like, that's another example I can give to you guys, that he was using it long before then. But that's kind of why we all sound the same when we say it, is because we've been saying it to each other for so long. All right, battles. After Gebhardt's crash, we got one coming here between Spicer, Gebhardt, and the 35 machine right there. Or no, it's not the 35. Yes, it is. Sorry, Jeff Cooper. I thought I was maybe Dustin Garrett and my eyes were deceiving me, but it is Jeff Cooper. Side by side now with Spicer on the uphill double. Dualies? Ah, Jeff Cooper just didn't lay it over enough to wet my whistle. Gabe Matherly timing update, giving it a little bit of a swoop there on how he's progressing through the field. 5 seconds back of T-Lang now. But this little fight right here is a good one. Gebhardt trying to get going again after that crash. Eighth place right now, almost into the back of Sonny Spicer. Jeff Cooper not close enough to capitalize, but... Or sorry, that's not Spicer, that is Heilman. Spicer is at the back of this group on the 97. Heilman on the 30. Sorry for mistaking you there. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like... So, he's got a TLD helmet on and TLD gear. He's wearing a Chest Pro. I don't know what Chest Pro that is, but I feel like that Chest Pro... Oh, as Gebhardt goes down. Something about that Chest Pro with the TLD gear makes it look like the OG O'Neill gear that Mike LaRocco used to run. What Chest Pro is that? It is a TLD chest protector. Okay, interesting. I don't know. It just looks like really OG O'Neill gear to me. Kind of funny. Jeff Cooper is now right up behind Heilman after that mistake from Mr. Walter Gebhardt. And we are just about halfway through, and it is a 30.8 second lead for Seth Carr. Unbelievable. Unbelievable how good he is. So with half of this moto still to go, the fight for second is what we are left to decipher. And Heilman and Jeff Cooper are still going at it right now. This, of course, is for 7th place on the racetrack if you're watching that timing and scoring monitor on the left-hand side of your screen. Keeping tabs of where some of your favorite competitors are throughout the field. I'll still give Steve the creator moniker of it because he definitely said it more than any of us. But yeah, it's definitely like a kind of like a friend joke that turned into a segment. Which is kind of the same thing with the rant that he does now. Because he would always have things. I mean, he always does. If you ever get a chance to like go with the J-Mart VIP program with Star or the Suzuki VIP program that 7 Deuce Deuce hosts, oftentimes he'll bring the VIP guests to the press box. And since 7 Deuce Deuce likes to sit with us up there, there's a good chance you'll hear Steve, Lewis, and I chatting with each other when you're up there. And Steve definitely is not shy about things he'll complain about in the press box, which is fun though. Like it's all part of it, if you will. Dang it, Cade, get yourself an FP model. Close battles in the top 5, but nothing close enough to warrant us getting excited about a battle just yet. Matherly's definitely closed up quickly, though. And he is the fastest in this group by a pretty good amount. Only guy in the 2 flats. Well, that's not going to help his case as he goes off the track. Might have actually gained a little bit of time right there, but that'll bite him later with penalties. And now T-Lane goes down, so that's going to be an easy pass into 4th place for Cade Matherly. Heilman now 13th. Yeah, looks like he maybe went down. He was about 8th last time we went back and looked at him, but I'll go back there again. So yeah, 217 one last time by, but he got passed by, like he was right around here, right ahead of Spicer. And that makes sense to lose. Like if he was with Spicer, maybe a little bit ahead of him up to Jeff Cooper. Makes sense to lose about 5 positions. So yeah, definitely something happened. Seth Shirley sighting. Haven't seen him all moto. He is up into the top 10 now in 8th. Trying to go forward with Wyatt Grant on the 27 Atlas Co. Yamaha. Battle for second starting to brew. Okay, here we go. Partolo versus Castellaneta. Partolo to the inside might make it look easy. Man, too easy. Wow. See you later, Austin Partolo. This guy wants to get second place in this race, and he's making a pretty good case that he will. So shout out him. Luke Chef in chat asked, top 3 stadiums for SX press box. It's really, to be honest, any of the new NFL stadiums are all pretty damn good. AT&T Stadium's press box is really good, but it's not in the middle of the stadium, so you don't get to see as much. I've always liked Indianapolis. Indianapolis's Lucas Oil Stadium press box is very good as well. So maybe those are my top 2. Trying to think of a good third one right now. Like, I never got to go to Mercedes-Benz Stadium when we were still going to Atlanta, so I never got to see how good that one would be. Yeah, Dallas AT&T Stadium, I would say is maybe the most, actually for the press, well put together one. It has, an entry corridor with, an actual press desk. So there's, a receptionist that sits there and, welcomes you into the press box. Almost no other press box has that. And the seats are very good. They have, cubbies behind to put your backpacks and stuff in. It's just that it's not in the very middle of the stadium. It's kind of on the end zone, so you're a little bit farther away from everything, but it's not bad. Glendale's pretty good too, even though that's almost a 20-year-old stadium now. That is also a pretty good one. So I'll say that Glendale, AT&T, and Indy, top 3 press boxes. Detroit sucks. Sorry, Ford Field fans. Detroit press box sucks. It's open air for one, so it's not enclosed in a suite area. And it's at the very, very, very top of the suite level. So if you ever are in Ford Field and you look up at the suite level, keep looking up because the press box is above that. It's in just this open stand area above it. So you're we're actually looking down at the catwalk from up there. And it's loud as hell because you're at the top of the stadium, so everything echoes up there. But yeah, press box chat, since we've got an absolute snoozer going on right now. Seth Carr gone at the front. Best thing is when Mathis just wants to make a super random point to piss off JT, yeah. Utah press box, ooh, Carr down with the lead here. Okay, all right. Doesn't actually fall off the bike, so all good. Utah and Birmingham, and there's one other stadium like that we've been to, but they're very similar in the fact that the press box is fairly high up. It's soundproof, it's behind glass and everything like that, but the way the stadium is designed, it's not very good because you're so high above kind of the floor level. So they should be a little bit lower, but not too bad. Favorite restaurant and meal from said restaurant in Arizona? Favorite restaurant in Arizona? Jeez, I've been to a lot. I used to live in Phoenix. There's a sushi restaurant downtown right below the building that my wife and I used to live in. And I can't remember the name of it, but it was pretty damn good. So I'll pick that. Which is weird for Phoenix. I never thought a sushi restaurant would get me in the middle of the desert, but it was probably the best food I'd had in Phoenix. Yeah, Aaron, can we just skip this part? 37-second lead. Hey, we do have a pass for second, though. Cade Matherly got there. I don't think he actually passed Partolo. I think Partolo went down based on the lap time. 2:12.5 last time by. So Matherly's ahead of him, 3 seconds now. And in the end, Seth Carr's dominant win is looking like it's only going to gain him 3 points in the championship. When you say only, 3 points is still good, but he's cooking everybody. And he's only going to pick up 3 points, so. Ooh, look at Wyatt Grant. Last time by 2:01.546. Just had that pop up on screen. Shout out to Luke Sheff for keeping an eye on that for us. Up into P5. So Grant just cruising now down in the low 2 flat 2:01 range. Late stages of this race now with a little under 6 minutes still to go. He is only about 6 seconds back of Castellaneta, so there's still a shot to get a few more points back in his favor. Gotta love the 7 deuce deuce. Gotta love him. True that, Go 55. Anybody that can qualify for this national is really damn good at the game. I mean, the cutoff time, 2:01.6, I believe, is what we said for Fast 36 in qualifying. I was 11 seconds off of that, and I felt like I ran a pretty good lap time. And to say that Seth Carr is 38 seconds ahead of everybody in this race, and those are the times they were running, is something else, to be honest. I don't know what that kid eats, but keep doing it, because it's obviously working. Ooh, Cooper off the track. I was just about to say he'd inched back into a battle here with Heilman. Sorry for the radio silence. Had to sneeze a couple more times there. Might be a little bit more nasally now. Apologies. Okay, never mind. Cooper is back in this fight with Heilman. I don't know if Heilman just made a mistake or something. But the battle is definitely brewing. This is for 8th place on the racetrack. Oh, Jeff Cooper. That's a hell of a save right there out of the 35. Will lose a position to Walter Gebhardt in the process, though. And, yeah, you guys have noticed Cade is barking. He's got this thing under 30 seconds. As Gebhardt's going to try to weave through this battle we're building up. Never mind, Cooper might get Gebhardt back. No, Gebhardt squeezed the gap and still got Heilman. Can Cooper get him as well? Yes, no. Heilman's going to rip the outside to the inside and get it back, but Cooper's got a great run. Dooley's off the triple, but Jeff Cooper came up a bit short. Things you hate to see. That right there is almost going to be a good fight. Wyatt Grant on Austin Partolo is now a thing, and it is now not a thing. Wyatt Grant has moved up into 3rd place. So this charge from way back has worked out for the 27. And what's good about that is, again, Seth Carr can only do so much with how far he's leading this race. 20-point lead in the points now for Carr over Matherly, and Wyatt Grant's got it to 25 by moving into 3rd. So, again, those are pretty big points. Only 5 motos into the season, and Grant just jumped off the track. Got to rejoin safely. Does so in front of Partolo still. But you take what you can get, and if any of these guys have a slight window of opportunity to open up and say, hey, we're still kind of in this, they're going to take that for all it's worth, because otherwise Carr's going to take off and run with this thing. Another off track for Wyatt Grant. So if you're Partolo, you're just like, all right, man, just keep making mistakes. Coming down that hill is turning into a bit of a washboard. How bumpy it's getting through there. Partolo trying to scrub down the triple, get back to the inside of Grant. Grant shuts the door. Now Parlo's charging to this middle rut right here. He's definitely making Grant think, because Grant's starting to make these just little wobbles and bobbles, having to force the issue to stay in front of the 83. But now he's back to ripping the outside line here as well. Oh, and someone just went flipping off the racetrack. Anna, we had a question in chat that maybe you could have a good answer to. Someone wanted to know favorite restaurant and meal from a restaurant in Arizona. Here.
I can't think of the name.
All right, hold on. My wife's going to think of the name. You want to come up on camera, buddy? You got your penguin?
I recently loaded
Oh, nope. He doesn't want to be on camera tonight. Sad.
Postino's.
What is it?
Postino's.
Postino's.
It's in Phoenix and apparently Denver too, and they make like all kinds of fancy bruschetta, like a spinach artichoke bread topping.
All right, there you have it. Postino's. I think I just accidentally made my microphone go a little bit lower, so we'll fix that. There we go. Better. So there you go. Postino's. Anybody in Arizona, if you've had that. Maddie, you have anything to say to the people tonight? Can you say dada?
How about Momo?
What does a cow say? The quietest moo of all time. Look at the Momos, buddy. They're racing. Got my son up here, my wife. Here, look. You guys can now see on screen them. There's my son. Again. They love ripping. They're going around the racetrack. Night-night. Just having some fun with you people, right? Oh, look at that. Car was down again. It is a 2-lap board out already, though. So we'll see if anything changes. I don't really expect it to. Wyatt Grant's already lost a lot of time to Partolo. Cade Matherly looks like he's well and truly ready to bring this thing home in the 2 spot. "25 seconds down, though, so I wonder if Cade could get a start, if we'd see any sort of different situation. But I will tell you, the fastest 4 riders in terms of best lap are 1, 2, 3, 4 on the track right now in order of what their best lap is. So, kind of interesting how that works out. Oh, just as we saw Cade go down, Partolo goes through the same section and also goes down. So we're going to see a repeat out of Wyatt Grant. See you later, JJ. Have a good night, man. Is Rut eating people up? Is it going to get Grant too? Well, got Adam Holm right in front of him. Maybe made Wyatt Grant check up a little bit. Oh, Partolo was down, so there it is. Wyatt Grant's going to go up in a 3rd, just like that. 83 of Austin Partolo hit the deck, and through goes Wyatt Grant into the final podium position. Here comes T-Lang. It's not over yet. And now Partolo goes off the track again. So from 3rd to 5th in just a few corners, and Partolo was in a really good position there. 16-second lead for Seth Carr on the final lap now. And if Matherly had just not crashed, He would have actually been kind of close, but he did have a fall on that last lap. Did his worst lap of the race at a 2:15.2. But Carr had 2 fall-offs, 2:21.0. So just got to try to bring this thing home now. Don't let it get too out of control. Deal with the lappers as they go. And he will be seeing the checkered flag sooner rather than later. Downhill's getting rough. Looks like Matherly had another legs off crash. 25 seconds gap again. But Carr is going to lead every lap of this race. After hole shotting, after being fastest qualifier. Does that in Moto 2, he'll have himself a grand slam for the weekend. So Carr still on top, still running the #1 plate, still rocking the red plate, still doing Seth Carr things, and here it is. Checkered flag in the air. Moto 1 at Thunder Valley goes to Seth Carr. Matherly kept him honest, kept him close. Won't be enough in the end, though, and he will bring it home. In the 2 spot, Wyatt Grant gets all the way back to 3rd. And barring a late mistake here, looks like it'll be where he rounds out the podium in Moto #1. Pardello a very strong 4th. T-Lang rounds out our top 5. Castellan at a 6th. Walter Gebhardt in 7th. Ben Nerona in 8th, still giving chase. Sonny Spicer, top 9. I like it. And Reno Brennan. He's under attack a little bit. No, Jeff Cooper's 5 seconds back. So Reno Brennan, freestyle god, is out here shredding inside the top 10. Just absolutely giving her. And still just ripping around this racetrack. Getting a top 10 is going to be really good for him. Jeff Cooper in 11th. #12th for Evan Holt. 13th for Cooper Hunt. 14th is Alec Horn. Tucker Zimmerman 15th, and Seth Shirley's right behind him. These are the last guys on the lead lap, and Shirley lands on Zimmerman. Down he goes. Oh, sorry, Race Coble was still on the lead lap. That's weird. It had him a lap down on timing and scoring, but he might get to Seth Shirley. He's going to go off the track to try to get a little bit closer, but I think Shirley will hang on from here. Dustin Garrett was 17th, or 18th, I should say. John Heilman, 19th. Lawson Dye, a.k.a. Colt Nichols Mechanic, was 20th. And Austin Schaefer picked up the lone point in 21st place. Those are your point scorers in Moto #1, and they all chased home the champ. Seth Carr, your winner here at Thunder Valley Moto #1. 17th career Moto win. And just doing the work that put the #1 plate on his bike in the first place, week after week, clicking off wins. Can you do it again in Moto #2? We're going to find out in about 40 minutes. 250s coming up after this break. We'll be back on the other side of this with more MX Simulator action from Thunder Valley. Welcome back in, everyone, to round number 3 of the 2026 Race Factor Gaming National Championship in MX Simulator. It is Kellen Brower in the booth, and we're having fun out here calling the action from Thunder Valley. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage of this race. Again, if you're just joining us for the first time here tonight, this will unfortunately be my last race, at least for quite a bit of time here in the National Championship, as I head to covering the real-life Nationals starting next week at High Point. So, was slated to do all the Supercross rounds. I did, and I felt like I wanted to give a little bit more where I could, so was able to do these first 3, but only so much I'm able to do. So, Tim Thompson wants to know, hey, Kellen, how did you get started in the press for the sport? It's kind of a long story. I'll try to take you through it really quickly. Actually, I kind of started my own blog before I even really got into sim, and I was writing stuff about real moto, and then eventually started writing about sim. That got me more into sim, and through sim, I met Checkers, aka Chris Riesenberg. I launched my first website, which at the time was called Motocross in Depth. I was writing stories and interviewing some riders through the help of Checkers and Race Tech and stuff back then. And then through that relationship, I got hooked up with the Verb guys at the end of 2012, and they asked me to take over their gamers channel, which I did. And then about a month later, they called me and asked if I wanted to run their social media channels as well. So I did that and became a staff writer on staff. I worked there for 5 years almost, and then when they went out of business at the end of 2017, kind of left the industry again, just was doing SYS, which I started at the end of 2014 with Jeremy Hinners. And then because of SYS and the success it had, Jason Wygant's son became a fan, started watching our videos. Weege already knew about me because of my Verb days, and then when they were looking for someone to fill a position at their company, he reached out to me, and that pulled me back into full-time media in the sport again, and I've been back ever since. So hopefully that was a brief and to-the-point story of my history to get into the press. But here we go. It is time to drop the gate. Moto number 2 of the 250 class from Thunder Valley. Let's go. Tharp on the 1 gets there first, and it's a huge pileup behind them. Brandon Tharp gets the stats guy. Oh, shit. As he leads early on, Elliott Person's right there with him, and this is maybe the battle we really wanted to see. If you remember in Moto number 1, it was Tharp who got punted by Elliott Person as they're battling for second place. Person went on to win the Moto. Tharp left to pick it up and get into a podium position late. But now Tharp has the upper hand early in this race, and I'm curious to see if Person not only can run with him, but if he gets him, how does Tharp respond to that? Ryder Dorigo at the sharp end of the field as well, up in 3rd. Jackson Lindsay 4th. Isaiah Dickerson rounds out the top 5. Ooh, mistake for Dorigo, and he's going to get split either side. There goes the 260 of Dickerson, shooting up into 3rd place, as Jackson Lindsay also goes into 4th around Dorigo. Oh, and now Dickerson goes down. Lindsay goes by. Ryder Bednar went through as well. Cash Woods, he's up here again. Nygren, Jack Mark, Dylan Roper, Gannon Lawson, Bodie Parker, Bollinger, Ortiz, Vellotti, Dickerson, Chowsey, Spieth, Fowler, Dan White, Dallaire, who was up there again in the first moto, just takes out Jack Gatland. And all the way back here in 26th place is Logan Leitzel, your fastest qualifier. Once again, having troubles. We're going to go back to the lead, though, quickly because it is on. Person versus Tharp at the end of lap number 1. Scrubbing down the finish line jump. Tharp able to get a little bit of leeway back in his favor. As they charge up the uphill. Person trying to make the turn apex a little bit wider. Tharp just sticking tight and hoping it works. And that inside rut actually worked really good for Elliott Person. Gonna try the outside line as Tharp crosses over to the inside, goes back to the inside here, which will turn to the outside here. Oh, Person got it really good. He's going to double up to the outside. He's going to rip around the outside and launch. Tharp crosses over to block the line. I believe Race is his real name, and what's funny about that, saying never heard of anybody else named Race, there actually used to be a player in the game who was really good and won a lot of races in this game named Race Carlin. And look at that. There's a pass for the lead by Person, but it's not over yet. Oh, look at the crossover by Tharp to get him back. That was an insane maneuver to keep the position, and these two are putting on a show at the front. Tharp does not want to let Elliott Person beat him again, especially with the way things went in the first moto. But you remember, after that contact that they had with each other, that's really what ignited Elliott Person's run. I mean, he absolutely took off from there and eventually took the lead and won the first moto. So if it happens again, you know Tharp is going to be really hanging on to that one. Dude, no way. Your dad's Bobby Bonds? Race Bonds. That is sick, dude. Bobby Bonds, I used to actually hang out with a lot. He played this game. And he was really good friends with a guy I know named Mike Strelo. Obviously also good friends with Checkers. And I haven't seen Bobby in a minute. I hope Bobby's doing well. I don't know if he would remember me either. But good to see you, Race. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. Looks like Person did make a little bit of a mistake. It's out to 2.6 seconds. They almost matched each other lap times last time by. It was only 0.4 in it. So Tharp now has a bit of breathing room and the fastest lap of the race on top of it. Chase Donovan, don't you worry, man. It's not going to get any better from here. I would almost guarantee you, at this point, someone that was playing in the early days of Sim actually has a kid that races the pro scene. And we maybe just don't hear enough about it. But, yeah. Oh, there you go, right there. So, Race Bonds is proof in the pudding. He's going to make his AMS debut on Sunday, so shout out Race Bonds. Good luck to you, buddy. And that's cool that Bobby remembers me. Because, like I said, it's been a long time since we talked. But I do remember talking to him quite a bit back in like 2015, 16, definitely the Fam MX days. Blake Scheiman, absolute OG as well. But I was even thinking, like, further back than that, like, the early days of Sim, there was, like, some real unk dudes playing the game in that era. Like, Warrior was in his 40s, Chad Estabrooks, and he was winning races in, like, 2010. And, I mean, I don't know if he ever had a kid or not, but if he did, I couldn't imagine that his kid wouldn't have at some point played Sim, too. It just seems like that stuff kind of runs in the blood. And I mean, my daughter's about to be 6, for example, and She doesn't play Sim yet, but she's absolutely cooking me at other games. She knows more about Minecraft than me these days. She knows more about the game Skate than me. And I'm sure it's only a matter of time before she's shredding some Sim, or I want to get her into Forza. She's played Beam NG. Yeah, Am's debut is the first amateur race. So for those that don't know, this is the Pro North American series of Race Factory Gaming Pro Motocross. There's also a European series that runs tomorrow, midday in the USA, 12 I think it starts Pacific, 3 Eastern, and 8 Central European time or something like that. So that's the EU series in case you're interested in running that and you're from Europe. There's also the Amateur Series, which runs on Sundays, so it gives you ample time to learn the track, play it with your buddies, get good at it, and then race it on Sunday. There's some absolute sweats that race that series that are going to be really good, but there's a decent amount of people that also play it that are not crazy shredders. So if you haven't raced it before, definitely check it out. RaceFactoryGaming.com. Definitely not, Chase. I will not still be streaming this by the time my son is old enough to play it. That's 12 years from now that he would be able to make his pro debut in this game. And if we're still playing Sim in 2038, man, honestly, we have failed as a community because there should have been a better motocross game by now. I'm sorry. There really should have been. And bikes is perfectly an acceptable answer for most people, but when it comes to streaming and online racing, I think Sim has still got the upper hand. But if we don't have something in the next 12 years that can pass this as Elliott Person goes down, I don't know, man. So Person gave it his best, but I think Tharp finally broke the straw, or the straw broke the camel's back a little bit there. 16-second lead now for Tharp. Ryder Dorigo is now all over Elliott Person there in second. Yeah, I know, Chase. We said it 10 years ago, and damn it all, it should have been done by now, but there's people still out there making tracks and playing this game, and honestly, I never thought I would have as many people after we stopped streaming the outdoors last year ask me if we're ever going to come back to streaming Sim again. I really was shocked to see the community turn out this year and how many people watched Supercross all season long, how many people have watched Motocross this season as well, and the fact that I still get, like, that's probably the number one question I get asked at races when fans stop me is Sim-related questions and all that stuff like that. It's crazy. Game might never die, that's for sure. Yeah, Tharp locked in. I missed your chat, Chef, about an SYS skate team. To be honest, I'm really trying to not have my daughter be able to play with other players. It's kind of annoying that skate, you can't turn everybody off. But I at least mute them, and I turn off their ability to place objects around her. And Person is just feeling the heat right now from Ryder Dorigo, and overall event points. This could totally flip the script if Dorigo gets by, and as I say that, he flips down the hill. Somehow didn't legs, but did lose some time in that spin. And what I was going to say about that is Tharp looking at a 3-1. If Person gets knocked back to third or worse, that would give Tharp the overall. So Ryder Dorigo and Ryder Bednar, both riders putting on some heat right now to Elliott Person to make sure that he doesn't absolutely blow this opportunity to get the overall win in back-to-back weeks. I hear that said all the time, by the way, Minnick, about Richard Burns Rally and the comparison. I can't personally say I ever played Richard Burns Rally, but I feel like the Dirt Rally games have really done a pretty good job of some of it, at least. I mean, maybe not stage lengths and stuff like that, but even so. There's a game from 2008 called Baja Edge of Control that to me is still somehow the best off-road truck racing game that's ever been made, other than BeamNG Baja mod. But like, it's weird how that works. Kind of crazy. Whoa, celebrity in the chat, Jace Kessler? The Jace Kessler watches every week? There's no shot, dude. Says he tunes in every week, though. I'm so sorry that this is the last week I'll be doing it, because then I gotta go cover you racing, Jace, from here on out. But shout out Jace Kessler. Hopefully you enjoy the streams, man. Dallaire and Bednar. So Dallaire, in terms of overall standings, remember he was second in the first moto. He's trying to get himself into a podium position in this race and maybe still have a shot at fighting for even higher on the box if things get topsy-turvy out front, and he's going to get to the outside of Ryder Bednar and move up into... Actually, that was third because down was Dorigo off the track. He was off the right side in the old mechanics area. Also, Cash Woods is up here now as well. So we have all of our top 5 finishers from the first moto, 1 through 6 at least on the racetrack, except Bednar. Bednar in the first moto was the only odd man out. He was 17th. He's having a really good turnaround. But otherwise, the top 5 guys from the first moto are all up here. And Dallaire is charging, man. He's really got his eyes set on running down Elliott Person, which is funny because he could pass Elliott Person and go 2-2 on the day and get third overall still, which is a bit unfortunate, but could end up happening. Any of the first UIDs still racing is a good question. TK11 in chat just said Johnson P16. Devin Johnson is UID 856. Daniel Mills, who is in the 450 class, is UID 21. So I don't know if he's still going to race Moto 2, but that is the lowest UID that's still actively racing. But it's been a few years since the lowest UID aside from JLV race, but he's around. I still see August Sanders around every now and again. But he hasn't raced the pro scene for a little bit now. That's the lowest UID possible except JLV. He's UID 2. Did I ever ask Lewis to host an MXS race with you? The one time you had Weege with you was awesome. We actually had Weege with us 2 times. Ball knowers, remember? I've mentioned it to Lewis. What he always says to me is, no one cares, no one remembers me from the game, and I don't know enough about the game to talk about it. But I keep telling him, it doesn't matter, man. Just have fun. Yeah, MXM Pitts John was UID 10. MX Sim Pits was Joe. John was John Rollins, who ran MXS Central. Joe Soller, MX Sim Pits. Joe was UID 10. I hope you guys are enjoying our little banter and I'm not ruining the racing action too much. I feel like the racing itself on track hasn't been that electric, and I feel bad for any of the players watching it back later that I might have been letting down by not talking enough about it, but it's still going on the track as Cash Woods crosses up Jack Mark. There's the points as they run. Elliott Person sees his points lead drop to 14 over Tharp as he loses 3 more points back that he had gained 5 on in the first moto. Going to gain 2 overall. Okay, as long as you guys like the actual chatting, I'm just trying not to completely ruin the show too much. Yeah, the memory lane, pretty good. Speaking of chatter, it sounds like my daughter has just entered the office as Tharp goes down with the lead. Hi, Holly. How are you doing tonight?
Good night, Momos. I love you.
Did you say good night, Momos? I love you. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's very sweet. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay. I love you. Good night. All right, sorry, just got to say goodnight to the kiddos, you know. All right, so Tharp has actually crashed a few times since I was saying goodnight to my daughter. And it's now down to 3 seconds, so Elliott Person is going to be back in the frame here a little bit. Oh, damn, Race was playing Sim at 6 years old when his dad was still playing. That's crazy. Yeah, Tharp might lose the lead. This is going to get tight. Okay, Tim Thompson's got a good question. In reference to Blair versus Mathis, what's your favorite memory of this track in Sim? Good question. Well, I think my best ever finish here, I believe I got a 5th in a moto in the 450 class in 2016. When I came back to racing full-time, I think this is one of my best motos of that season. I ended up 7th in points or something, but I think I got a 5th in one of the motos here. So that was a good memory. We launched our SYS team, which is still technically going to this day at the 2015 Thunder Valley National. So that's a good throwback for me as well. But yeah, I don't know. Not too many really crazy memories about this track other than I just always felt like I did pretty good here. Even my 250 days, I had some good motos on this track. 2012, 2013. But I'll just go with that 2016. I believe it was second moto I got 5th. I don't know. I'm sure if iMoto was here, he could tell me how wrong I am. Ooh, Elliott Person went down. Elliott Person was down. Dylan Dallaire up to 2nd now, and that will throw the overall back into Braden Tharp's lap. So if he keeps having some problems, you're going to have to watch out for Dylan Dallaire still having a chance to win this overall. And remember, Tharp did have some late crashes in the first moto, so it's not out of the question with 8 minutes still to go. Who streamed pre-SYS? Well, the very first group of streamers was actually Race Factory themselves. The 2 people that started RaceFactorGaming.com are 2 gentlemen by the name of Charles Adam Sweeney, a.k.a. Sween Doggy, and Michael Wheeler, a.k.a. Wheels1758 on the forums. And they started Race Factor Gaming together, and Sween, mostly, was the first person ever to stream it on livestream.com. They did a little bit of the Nationals that they hosted in 2011. They did the Winter Indoor Series that they hosted in 2011. And then they started full-time streaming in 2012, which is when I really started also being involved in Race Factory as well. I was writing articles for the website, race reports, different things like that, and they were streaming it. And so they streamed all of 2012 Soupy and Outdoors. And then they streamed, I think they still were streaming 2013 Supercross mostly, but then I started streaming towards the end a little bit with them, and then started streaming full-time 2013 Outdoors for Race Factory. So I had no channel to put it on other than the Race Factory Live account. So then I took over for all of 2013 Outdoors, but I was still racing full-time, and I wanted to focus more time on racing, so I backed away in 2014, which was a disaster. I sucked indoors in Supercross. Had a really good outdoor season 2014. Sixth in points, won a moto. But Nathan Nickerson, a.k.a. Narco Nate or whatever he was called, took over, did all the streaming 2014 outdoors and Supercross. MXS is Def, I think, is also the account that it was under. So he did that. But then at the end of 2014, I decided to step away from like full-time racing, and myself and Jeremy Hinters launched Start Your Systems. And SYS has been pretty much the primary broadcaster of it ever since. We only did not do the Outdoor Championship last year. But 2015 until Salt Lake City 2025, we streamed every single race. Except for the day my son was born. I missed that round. But we did everyone other than that. So there's your history lesson. So Tharp just blows off the track, 5-second lead. Could Dylan Delaire pick up the win here? Definitely on the table with 5 minutes and 2 laps still to go. What is Jeremy Hinters up to these days? That's perfect question to ask, because I didn't know the answer to that until about 6 months ago. And he started getting into MX bikes quite a bit under the name Binks. So if anybody knows Binks in MX bikes, he started playing it quite a bit more. Actually told me he was doing it via stream, like on Twitch. And so I said, man, we got to start playing a little bit more. So we reached out to each other, and he is now on the SYS racing team in bikes. It's kind of come full circle. It's been really fun to see him again, chat with him again. He doesn't get on voice call very much because he also has kids like me, and they're a bit rambunctious. But playing our MX Bikes SYS racing team now. So check him out. And yes, I did gloss over someone that I absolutely should mention. Moto Agogo streamed AMS for a lot of years. I think 2015 or 16 till 2020 or so. And for a lot of rounds, especially in 2017, he jumped in and streamed for SYS. So he was actually on the SYS account streaming for us. And he was awesome to work with. Super, super nice guy. And he did that because I wanted to get back into racing. I raced all of the 2017 250 East Supercross Championship that year. Got 4th in points. And that was my goodbye to racing in sim. Haven't raced the pro scene really since. But Moto Gogo was there to pick up the pieces while I was racing all of that time. So thanks so much to him. He was awesome as well. Not sure what Moto Agogo is up to now. I know he still has his Discord up, I think. But it's been a while since I've actually spoken to him, so not too sure. He used to poke his head in here really quite often when we would stream the outdoor races and soupy races in sim, but I haven't seen him in a minute. He might randomly do that now if someone lets him know, though. Tharp 7 seconds up on Dallaire. Person has absolutely thrown this opportunity away. He's 25 seconds on back now. Bednar is still a very strong 4th, and Balzer in 5th. He was 6th in the first moto. As Ryder Dorigo goes down again, he was 5th in the first moto. And Cash Woods, who was 4th in the first moto, is now 8th on the racetrack. So Dorigo ahead of him. Jack Mark just went by. I totally missed that. So Jack Mark's having pretty solid second moto after he was 12th in the first moto. Good rebounds there. Trying to follow Balzer through. And it feels like Dallaire could still do this. Like, not completely out of the question. This track is getting gnarly. And we'll see whether or not he could close this gap down. 6 seconds the gap. Up to your race leader. That is not your leader down. This is him still. Tharp out front. Shout out Owen Adams, by the way. He's been watching SYS since he was 11, and he's 21 now. Honestly, like, I think it'd be really cool if someday, like, the people that have watched SYS quite a lot of time, like, it'd be really cool to meet a lot of you guys in person, especially someone like Owen, who we could, like, legit have a beer together. Like, it'd be awesome to, like, hear your story of, like, the content you liked and what was some of the first videos you watched, and whether or not, like, I helped anybody in these games too. Like, we did a lot of tutorials in Sim. I did some stuff in bikes too, but obviously Linz and Reaper Doc and Troy Jan, like, have absolutely eclipsed me there. They're much better at that kind of stuff than I. And I just genuinely don't have the time anymore to put in to all that stuff that they do. Content creation in these games has absolutely never been my full-time job. And I kind of hope it never is, to be honest. Like, I really enjoy it, but also I super love what I get to do working in the sport. And they're able to do a little bit more than me, and it works in their favor. So, but yeah, an SYS meetup would be sick. Oh, Tharp down. Hold on. We got a change here, folks. A late change as time is about to expire. Dylan Dallaire is into the race lead at Thunder Valley. And with time now running completely out, 2-lap board out next time by, and Dallaire is sitting in a position to maybe win his first overall. Oh, what's up, Yule? How you doing, man? Good to see you. That's funny you talked to Weege about me. I feel like Weege told me that. I think he said that someone came up and just asked about me at Indy. Nice, Chase. Vermoto Gamers, that's how you found it? That's awesome, dude. I forget who was doing sim content in Verb Gamers before me. I know Austin DeBusk was doing a lot of stuff, but I don't think it was too much sim. Ah, Moon, you were looking for me at the Paula press conference? I'm sorry, I was not there anymore, which I'm actually surprised I didn't get more grief from the general public about. I live close to Paula. I don't really like Paula. I knew it was going to be a pain in the ass to get out of Paula, and I'm like, I'm going to go home and watch the motos. Like, I go to enough races in person. I don't need to see guys go around the track one section at a time here. I can go watch it on TV from the comfort of my couch. So I went in the morning, I talked to all the people there, and I went home and watched the race. So unfortunately, you didn't get to see me at Paula. But, yeah, Paula sucks. I live close enough to say that it sucks. Tanner winning Toronto 2017, the best SYS memory you have. Yeah, that is a good throwback right there. Mid-Toxin, Kawa 46, yeah, those are throwbacks for sure. I'll tell you, two people got me into sim. And Mitox and Kawa, for sure, like, I should put on that list of guys that I watch videos that got me in a sim. But the two people I always give credit to that actually got me in a sim, Robros02 and MotoX Jeff, which is Robin Rosenwinch and Jeff. Oh, what is Jeff Scott is his last name, I think. And Jeff actually did some work in the real industry, like for Verb and stuff like that. He was a really good videographer guy. But their videos, so good for the time. Absolutely grabbed my attention in the sim. Do I think Tyson, Fresquez, or Hunter Root were faster or better than Payson or Carr? I mean, the real answer is Payson and Carr are faster than them. Oh, Dallaire's down! Dallaire is down, and here comes Tharp. Dallaire is going to get going just as Tharp gets there, and we have a battle for the overall win and the moto win. Dallaire's down again. Tharp's going to get it. What just happened? Wow, that turn of events happened so quickly. Dallaire had it. And Tharp is suddenly 10 seconds out front and going to win this overall again. Crazy, crazy turn of events. But back to the answer to that question, I think Payson and Seth are faster than Tyson and Hunter ever were. But you also have to understand it from a game progression standpoint. I would say the percentage gap that Hunter Root was better than all of us in terms of raw speed at the time is bigger than that of what Seth is doing right now and what Payson has done. Because, dude, there were times that Hunter did stuff that I was like, no one knew that was possible in this game. And yes, Seth and Payson do that at times, but I feel like people know what's possible. They just don't think you can do it repeatedly. But back then, no one could do stuff repeatedly. And then Hunter Root started doing stuff that wasn't thought to be possible and did it repeatedly. And we were all like, WTF. So Hunter was on a different planet. What Tyson was good at was all the stuff that we knew was possible, he could just do it repeatedly. Lap after lap, no problem, 20 minutes straight. And we all were like, dude, I can't even do 20 minutes at half pace. And he was working us doing 20 minutes at dumb, ridiculous pace. So, but now like Seth and Payson are doing like unbelievable, crazy things lap after lap. We kind of all know it's possible, but no one can push that envelope and do it repeatedly like they can. So I would say that's the difference that I put to it. I definitely will say that Seth and Payson are faster than those days, for sure. The game has progressed. They've gotten better. They've learned techniques that we didn't really understand back then and have pushed the game to a higher level because of that. But I would be curious to see like what their skill level would have been like had they played during our time. The traction was a lot different. The models felt different. The game didn't erode. So I don't know. Hopefully that's like kind of a fair assessment of how that breaks down. But what is a fair assessment of what broke down in this moto is that Braden Tharp weathered the storm and is going to survive to get back on top when he needed it the most. He's going to win Moto 2, and he's going to win the Thunder Valley National. Braden Tharp takes it here in Colorado. It won't be enough to get the red plate back, but it's at least a step in the right direction. Dylan Dallaire is going to go 2-2 for third overall because this man's first moto win is going to keep him in second place on the day. He's going to tie Braden Tharp when it comes to a points tally and leave here still with the red plate. But it is Tharp who wins overall, his sixth career overall victory, and puts himself back into a position where he says he can go and win this title once again. Elliott Person, third in the moto, second overall. Ryder Dorigo should be fourth. Ryder Bednar should be fifth. Battle of the Riders to the line will suffice with them in their positions. Ryan Chowsey, midday for him, 8-6. He would have wanted a little bit more, but he'll take it. Rasmus Balzer 7th. Jack Mark is dealing with Cash Woods. I think Woods is going to hold on, though. It's going to be close. Jack Mark's trying to get there, but I think Woods is going to hold on. So 4-8 day for Cash Woods. Jack Mark looking at a 12-9. Will stay there. Johnny Padani ends up going 7-10. Dylan Bollinger, good ride in the second moto to get points because he did not get points the first moto, or did he? Let's see. I miss him. Yeah, he got 2 points, 20th place. So 20-11 day for him. Caden Kepke 12th. Colin Allen 13th. Jake Spees 14th. Bodie Parker 15th. Luke Sullivan 16th. There's the points as they run. Elliott Person still 12 up on Braden Tharp, and bigger gaps opening up behind them. Velati a lap down in 18th, McLaughlin 19th, Feitosa 20th, Ortiz in 21st, and Luke Fowser picks up a point in he was 22nd, sorry, he does not pick up a point. Ortiz was the last points paying position, and looks like not a lot changed throughout the field as Tharp picks up the dub here in Thunder Valley to win the 250 class. All right. Back to hanging out with the chat, which is what's been real fun with you guys tonight as we get ready for the final moto. Did I miss any good questions, though, while you guys are? Devin Eaton wants me to make another top 10 MX Sim Riders of all time video. Stay tuned. Let's see. How did you meet A Wood and start streaming together? Sorry, I missed that question. So A-Wood and I actually, we go all the way back to basically we started racing together at like the exact same time. I think his UID is like 20 or 40 or something lower than mine. I made his pro debut. I made my pro debut before him, but he really like started racing full time before me. And the funniest thing probably of our story is that I was only over protested one time in my entire days racing. I was at times probably a little aggressive, but not, I guess, over the line. And the one protest I ever got, Andrew Wood himself protested me. I only got a warning, but I did take him out pretty aggressively. 2013 Atlanta, and I do still feel bad about it. But anyway, so yeah, that's when we kind of started racing each other, and then we started hanging out with each other like really 2014 quite a bit more. Discords, or I guess back then it would be Ventrilo or TeamSpeak. And then when I started streaming, like he just wanted to be involved a little bit. So he started coming and streaming with us like around 2019, I think was the first time he started coming and doing it in studio, or at least on the phone. And now he just comes and does it in studio whenever he can. He used to live about 40 minutes from me. Now he lives about 2 hours from me. So, but yeah, that's our story. Why do I say McLaughlin like that? Noah McLaughlin? How am I supposed to say that? McLaughlin. Is there some other way I'm supposed to say that? Also, shout out Blake Fisher for the $10 donation. Yeah, Kellen, you the man. No, thank you, Blake Fisher. You the man for that donation. Appreciate it. Right in time before Wayne Brown tells us to go outside and play. Cool, man. Sim has taken my soul. You think I can leave? Look at me. No? Think I can leave? I've been trying. No. McLaughlin. Noah McLaughlin? Like Sarah McLaughlin? I don't know. All right. Emphasize the laugh part. McLaughlin? McLaughlin. Okay, I'll try to remember that. At least in the UK and OCE. I always tell people, by the way, if I'm ever pronouncing your name wrong on the broadcast, I don't mind one bit if you reach out to me and tell me I'm saying it wrong. Like, at all. You can 100% tell me the right way to pronounce it, and I will. That always grinds my gears when the announcers just refuse to acknowledge that what they're saying is incorrect. So, if it's bothering you, it's bothering me, and I would like to fix it. All-time favorite bike? Well, the favorite bike I've ever ridden, I had a 2006 Honda CRF 450 for the longest time. Very, very good bike. I just had to get rid of it because it was literally pulling my arms off. I got a 252 stroke instead, but I mean, in terms of like favorite bike I've ever seen, I don't know. It's a good question. I have to think about that one. All right, final moto of the night here from Thunder Valley. Who gets the all-important stats guy hole shot? It's 450 Moto 2 coming at you. Let's go. Another good start for the one, but I think Nerona beat him to the punch. He did. Ben Nerona, stats guy hole shot. Out front here in the final moto of the night. And he's got the 44 of Seth Shirley with him, so Seth Carr doesn't get the hole shot. And instead, it is Shirley who goes to the lead. He pushes Nerona off the track. Carr up into second. Nerona back to third. So this is the first good start we've seen for Seth Shirley in quite a long time, and I wonder how he's able to fit in at the front. It's a battle of the Seths. This is really a battle we thought when Seth Carr moved up was going to be a battle to watch for many years to come, but Shirley is kind of not been the same version of himself this year, and now Carr going to go to work with him. Outside line for Carr, inside, outside for Shirley. Carr gets the inside rut beautifully. Doolies over the triple. Watch Carr on this outside line. He is just going to keep it pinned. Does he get to the inside here? Oh, he just follows in Shirley to the outside. And they both drop down this downhill together. They're getting away from everybody quickly, though. Nerona is back there trying to stay close. But might be a futile attempt as Seth Carr is ripping, dude, putting the heat on Shirley already for the race lead. In and out of the valley past the mechanics area. And lap number one goes to Seth Shirley, but Carr is right there. And on to lap number two we go. Do we just go on board with Carr again? We did this last time. Second lap of the race. We know Carr has early raw pace. He's going to try this outside rut. Turns it into the inside at the bottom of the hill and pushes the nose a little bit. So Shirley's got a little bit of breathing room now. This is what it looks like. Early battle for the lead here at Thunder Valley. On board with Seth Carr, your reigning champion and current points leader. Running down Seth Shirley on the 44. All the chaos ensuing behind them. Everyone jockeying for the early positions. But it's Carr and Shirley out front. Split lines again. Carr rips the outside, gets back to the inside. Can Shirley do anything about it this time? He cannot. Seth Carr to the race lead. And it looks like it might have been a bit of a mistake for the 44 that did it. And just like Moto 1 is a goodbye time for the one. We were wondering, could Cade Matherly or Wyatt Grant get the starts that would flip the tides? And I would say the answer is not really. Matherly's 6th right now. And meanwhile, Wyatt Grant is 21st. Wow, well down the order. As Carr comes around to finish off what's probably going to be a pretty good lap. Whoa, a little bit waywards on landing right there. That's okay. 158.429, Seth Carr. Boom. Fastest lap of the race out front. Seabolt now moves up into second as it looks like Shirley may have gone down. And Matherly's already here in 4th. So this is maybe the best news if you're looking for any sort of challenge to go with Carr, is that Matherly's got a decent start. Just not good enough to be right there with them at the start. But if he can make some quick passes, I wonder if some free air for him, he can start just chipping away, just staying close enough that if Carr makes a mistake, he can get up there. Because remember, Carr did have a couple late falls. In the end, it was a 26-second gap. When at one point it had ballooned out to almost 40. Little mistake for Shirley, and I think Matherly's going to see that and try to find the opportunity to pounce. We got to ride her down. That is Seabolt out of second. So now it is just Seth Shirley standing in the way of Matherly and this second position on the racetrack. T-Lang also right there on the 5 of Shirley's rear end. Almost went looking for the edge of the racetrack. Woo! Outside to in for Matherly's gonna work. Into second place goes the 2025 250 East Supercross champion and a multi-time race winner in 250 outdoors in this game. He is a shredder. 13-second lead, though, for this man. So what can Matherly do from second place? We're going to find out. What were the best-looking team skins you've ever seen since you've been streaming? My favorite bike of all time is one that many people who are familiar with MX bikes would know this name. JVDL made a JVDL bike, technically, that you could win the like graphics for IRL, I think. And it was such a sick-looking Cowie, dude. It was like green front fender and shrouds, but it kind of like faded to yellow and white on the back. Just sex. It was so good. And the Race Factory team like kind of ran them as team bikes a little bit in 2013. It was so good. So that's probably my favorite bike I've ever seen made in this game. I don't know. I've always been fond of some of the team stuff we had. We had some really sick Barry Motorsports Hondas in 2014 that a lot of people liked. Andy Hack and Now Poise came together and made a really good looking Honda. People still always talk about that bike to me. I don't know. There's been a lot of good ones. I'll say that. Whoa, man. Carr going for a bit of a ride right there. He did a 58.312 last time by. 14-second lead. And Shirley is still right there behind Matherly, so he might actually be keen to go with Matherly a little bit this moto. Wyatt Grant gonna have to go back to the drawing boards with his starts, as Phil Nicoletti would tell Chase Sexton, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. Yeah, Volcom Cowies are pretty hot. Those things look really good too. So yeah, I don't know. There's been a few. Oh, Matherly's down out of second. And there goes Shirley, so never mind about trying to keep Carr honest. Unless Shirley or T-Lang could do it, which you never know. They could do. Oh, never mind. Shirley down. So Seth Shirley goes down now. And there goes Nerona through as well. I was trying to find this JVDL Race Factory Cowie real quick. I can only find the release version though, but it was something like this. It was a little bit different than this. But it was basically like this. That bike to me is just like, Andy Hack's Cowie, chef's kiss right here. Good looking bike. All right, enough about that. Yeah, game audio was gone because I was looking off of screen there for a second. Oh, another mistake for Carr. 22-second lead. Let's get worried for him. T-Lang up into second, Matherly back into third, so it looks like Shirley may have lost the plot a little bit. Nice scrub right there for T-Lang, getting the power right back down on the downside. There's something, I don't know if you guys ever have this feeling, but there is something so nice about like perfectly downsiding a jump to like where even if the suspension moves, it kind of doesn't look like it. Like it just looks like you just kind of like put the tires down on pillows. And it's just chef's kiss, honestly, when that happens. Feels great to do when you do it yourself, but when you see like a side angle of it and it's just like a money landing, doesn't get much better. Look at Matherly. He is right there on the 5. Yep. Car's definitely fading. Luke Chef let me know in chat. He's gone 58.3, 58.4, 58.5, and 58.5. So we're trending in the wrong direction, honestly. Like he might be washed. And I don't mean Ryan Chowsey washed. I mean like, dude's a bottle of Jack Daniels washed ashore after a long party. Battle for second is good, though, man. It is really good. Matherly is putting T-Lang through the paces, and Lang's going to make a mistake. Matherly scrubs down that triple just a little better, I think. But Lang is doing what Lang does, man. He is so consistent. And even the little mistakes, he finds ways to correct them quickly. Both of them ripped that outside line. 57-0 out front out of Seth Carr. There are only a handful of guys that did quali laps better than that. Crazy, crazy stuff. As T-Lang still holds Matherly at bay. Matherly down the inside is going to try to get this inside rut to start working. Not good enough yet, but could it get better as the race goes on? It certainly could. And the fight continues. He's got 26 seconds back, but they're in the 201s. They're the fastest riders on the track outside of your race leader. And Jeremy Siebold also 2 flat in the mix. Look at that inside move for Matherly. Is it enough? I think it is. Just gets on the power fast enough and makes the pass on T-Lang. Lang's going to try this outside, though. Not many people have made it work. Let's see if he gets back to the inside here on Matherly. He does as well, but he blows the corner. Oh, he almost had it. That would have been a brilliant pass. And I love T-Lang for the send to go for it, but it just doesn't work out, and his teammate's going to get him as well. As Shirley goes back into third place. Side by side, down the downhill. Shirley going to hold position. I feel like Shirley really looked a bit loose when he was out front and has kind of settled nicely. A little long there on that triple, just as I say it. A boot sponsor? To be honest, I didn't even know that boot sponsors in MX bikes was a thing. So absolutely DM me, and if it's a good fit, I'm happy to listen. And for those that don't know, I believe this video also has it, but maybe I'm wrong. Usually our Discord is always included in the description of our videos. So if you're ever looking to try to reach out to me, you can always join our server. And I'm the admin of that, so that I would just pop up as a name to click on. Oh, Shirley goes down out of third. And if you can't get to that, then go to startyoursystems.com. And I think under the community tab or something like that, there's a link to our Discord as well. Or it's on the homepage too, I think, actually. It's been a minute since I've been over there, but I think it's still there. Let me take a look. Doubt people even remember we have a website. It is not on the homepage, so you got to go to contact, maybe? No, it's not on contact. Where did I put it? About, maybe? I don't know. I need to apparently update it because I had it somewhere. But it's not there anymore, I guess. My bad. So if anybody needs a link to our Discord, just let me know. All right, back to Seth Carr, halfway through the moto. 57.0 last time by. Follows it up with a 58.9. Dude's not even good anymore. It's his worst lap of the race. That is his worst lap of the race. No one else has done a better lap than that. Every single lap that Seth Carr has come across the finish line jump has been a better lap than anybody else has been able to do. Every single lap of the race. Crazy. He is running like a goldish brown wheel. I saw someone say that. It's definitely not like straight gold. It's almost like a peach gold, rose gold. Some would even entertain that as a color option. I watch these videos with my daughter every once in a while. I don't know if you guys ever have these roll up in your feed of people like mixing paint colors together and then it turns into some other different color. And they always name it the most like off the wall stuff. It's never just like teal or pink. It's like midnight prismarine or something like that. So my daughter and I always do this fun game where we just come up with the most ridiculous name for what the color should be called, and it's never close, but it's fun regardless. How about this day for Austin Partolo? 4th in the first moto. He's 4th right now. He's got T-Lang breathing down his neck. But this has been a really damn good day for the 83. Making it look solid. And I have not had his bike skin once this year, but thanks to Coda Rivas for sending me the replacement pack update. That Husky's looking a little bit newer these days. So, is anybody watching NBA Finals Game 4? Because my group texts are absolutely blowing up about it, and I don't know what's happening. Congratulations to whoever won, or sorry that happened to you if you lost. I don't know what's going on, but my group chats are insane. That's the wheels in the district pack. It's called mag, so I guess it's magnesium. Interesting, Devin Eaton. Thank you so much. Thoughts on the new blue rear fender trend, Husky and Honda now? I think, honestly, the Husky one is fine because it's kind of part of their brand history a little bit. Obviously, this one doesn't have the blue rear fender, but it's whatever. The Honda one is dumb to me. So I found out the reason why Honda did it is because the Japanese were all getting kind of annoyed that there's so many red bikes, and so they couldn't, it wasn't distinguishing Honda enough from the other brands, right? Because there's Gas, and now there's Ducati, and even Beta for a while was like mostly red with some white. And so they're like, let's add blue to the rear fender because then it'll make it look different. And have the Honda plastered across the side. So this is all just like this grandiose marketing idea to make the Honda stand out again. But to me, I told the person who told me this, I said to them, I said, Honda spent 40 years becoming the Red Riders. They put a marketing effort into becoming the red brand of motocross, the Ferrari of motocross, if you will. And overnight, they're like, you know what? Let's let a different brand be the red brand. Dumbest marketing decision ever, in my opinion. Like, I don't care whether you like the blue rear fender or not, and you think it looks better with the bike. I don't know. But if you spend all that time becoming the red brand of motocross, why would you then throw that away? The Hondas look sleek, clean, refined, professional, elite as a fully red machine. And I think now it kind of looks a little bit scuffed. No offense. I know some people like the AMA bikes better. Like, I'm sure we could go back and find someone who has a blue rear fender now on these bikes because everyone always follows the trends. Maybe we can. No, we can't. No move people out of the race. But, yeah. Like, I feel like the blue on the rear of the bike on the Honda makes it look like a tank. When it used to have the red fender, it was sleek and, like, nice looking, I thought. So, I digress. I think that Honda is going to just have to accept the L here. But I will say, I've never felt better than my friends at Acherbys, Cycra, UFO Plastics, you name it, any plastics brand you've ever known in your life. They are about to buy new vacation homes because of how much money they're going to make off of selling red rear fenders to Honda owners. Absolutely ridiculous. But congratulations to them. This has been my TED Talk about Honda and their dumb marketing decisions. Hey, Race Coble's up here. Don't know if Race Bonds is still in chat or not, but another gentleman by the name of Race is having a great race himself. He's up in 6th place. He's got Wyatt Grant breathing down his neck, and he absolutely just rolled the windows up. He took Wyatt Grant with him as he did it. He's going to lose another position as the 46 of Cooper Hunt goes by. And Evan Holt will not go by, so he only lost 1 spot. But nice run. Top 10. And I feel like if you're Wyatt Grant, you got to just be like, okay, I'm kind of sick of passing people. Maybe this week, instead of playing the game, I'm just going to do starts over and 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 over until I get a good one. Because right now he's watching some points slip away to T-Lang. He's going to slip to 4th in the standings. Okay, so I missed almost everything you guys said about the Knicks. Okay, so Knicks won. Insane comeback with a buzzer beater, put back. Largest comeback in finals history. They were down 29 and won by 1. That makes sense. Anyone? Okay, so how about this? As I said, my group text just blew up. I would be curious if anyone wants to take a guess who in my group text is a Knicks fan that would have blown up my group text. Anybody? Bueller? A lot of people in my phone these days. Could be anybody. As Wyatt Grant gets down the inside of Race Coble. Up into 7th place he goes. There's Cooper Hunt just ahead of him. Tis not Steve. Steve doesn't give a rat's patootie about basketball. Went to the VJK Knights game, though. Stanley Cup Game 4 or whatever. Nope, not Harlan. Benjamin Netanyahu. It's not Mathis. Could do some standard deduction of people who live close to the New York area or perhaps grew up near the New York area and talk about guys from the New York and New Jersey area quite a bit. Hey, Sean 625 gets the cookie of the night. Yes, it is Jason Wygant, big New York Knicks fan. All right. Any battles? Bueller? Someone? Cooper Hunt catching Wyatt Grant? No, Wyatt Grant would have just, I think, went by him. Yeah, that's right. Wyatt Grant might be on a burner right now, actually. Up into 5th. Yeah, 2 flat point 2. That's his. Is that his personal best? No, he did a 159 flat. Sorry, I was one look at the pit board. Jesus moly, that save! I don't know. First of all, how he didn't get pitched right over the bars. Second of all, how he rode the nose and still stayed up. And he's going to go around the outside of Parlow to get into 4th. Yeah, Wyatt Grant's on one right now, dude. Parlow's going to try to fight back. New York's going to riot. How many games are left? I don't know what the... who's up? I thought it was New York up 2-1, so they'd be up 3-1 now. So 1 game left. Well, I know 3 left, but yeah, 3-1 Knicks. Okay. I know it's a 7-game series. I just meant what was the tally? I got you, Owen. Thank you, though. All right, so Seth Carr, you guys are saying, is about to lap 10th. 13th place, John Heilman says he's still on the lead lap. He is. He'd have to get pretty far to lap 10th, though. But, I mean, it's possible. He's got to get 4 more corners. We still have 3.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. This is 10th right now. Jeff Cooper, yeah. Thank you, Gucci. Has anyone ever lapped the field in sim? No, but someone did lap up to 3rd, I want to say. Who was it? I think Payson did it once or twice. Oh, Jeff Cooper down. I do think it's possible, but you need a lot of bad luck early from guys that could actually run the pace at the front. Evan Holt around the outside of Jeff Cooper after he picked it up is going to get that spot. Seth Surley also went by. Jeff Cooper fighting back, though, says, no thank you. My Canadian videographer friend of mine. Shout out Evan Holt, by the way. If you would like to have an excellent follow to follow all of the Canadian motocross shenanigans, I think it's just at Holtzy or at Evan Holt or something like that. Yikes, over the bars goes Seth Shirley. But yeah, look up my guy Holtzy. So back to car out front. Yeah, Heilman's going to be in the danger zone soon. How do I predict Chase will go this weekend? 5th overall. He goes like 4 or 5 for 5th or something like that. Has any real world riders appeared as guest analysts for the sim racing? Yeah, absolutely. This year we've had Grant Harlan, Kalana Humphrey, Hunter Yoder, Derek Kelly, Matt Burkeen, I guess you could say, he's a real world rider for sure. He's not racing pro anymore, but he's been here. Who else have we had? We've had Cade Clayson before, too. Gotta be missing someone. Jason Wygant's been here. Max Volan's been here. Doc Smith has been here. Colin races with us before. Yeah, Casey Cochran did a video with me, but he didn't ever come in for the sim race. Devin Simonson hasn't been in studio with us before, but he did answer the phone call to do an interview with us one time. Lights out Logan Leitzel. I forgot about Logan. That's my bad. Logan Leitzel's been in studio with us before. I need to talk to Kitchen. I knew he was a sim player, but he brought it up on Pulp this week, and I feel like I could get Kitch to come out and actually do one of these with us one time. I've talked to him a little bit about it before, but how many NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series drivers has appeared as guest analysts in this series? Yeah, I don't know, man. Pros who play, that list is long, my friend, and it starts right at the top with Jet Lawrence in terms of pros who play. I said this, I think, on the broadcast last week, but Jet, it's like the most like jaw-dropping thing that happens to me still, but every once in a while Jet will just tap me on the shoulder and pull me aside and just want to talk sim for like 10 minutes. Still do the broadcast, man? How's my guy Cade? Cade doing good? That's good. Yeah, I haven't played in a little bit. Want to get back into it. It's been fun, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, okay, Jet. Yeah, I know Swole plays too. The problem with getting Swole in studio is he doesn't live in Cali. Or really ever come to Cali. Like, obviously for the National or Supercross he would, but he hasn't. He raced East this year, and then he was hurt early. He hasn't been back. So, do I ever still get fanned out when meeting guys? Not current pros, but like anybody that I was like kind of a fan of growing up, like even Chad Reed, I still kind of fan out a little bit around. I've been to Jeremy McGrath's house, and that was the most out-of-body experience I've ever had in my life. So, those kind of things. Oh, I know there's a long list of pros currently banned. They, are some of the worst offenders when it comes to key sharing. Davies hops into the underground Discord. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I actually asked him recently because I knew he played bikes. I was talking to him about bikes. He's like, honestly, mate, I'm more into sim lately. And I'm like, talking my language. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, Kev Steve. AP told me he would do a stream once. I got to remind him that he actually said that, but he did say that. I'm in SoCal, Wyatt. I'm not going to reveal like exactly where, but close enough to Paula that people would know. Yeah, Carr's pretty much the Jet Lawrence of this game. And he's Jet Lawrencing his way to winning again here today at Thunder Valley. Dominant second moto. I mean, what can you say? The same three guys are going to go 1, 2, 3 in each moto. And they're kind of the class of the field right now. They're 1, 2, 3 in points. T-Lang, you can sprinkle in there as well. Braden Carter is going to miss this week and really fall out of the point situation. But there's just no beating Seth Carr right now. This dude is on another planet, and I wasn't around too much at the outdoors last year, but by all accounts, this is exactly what he did all of 2025 as well. So while, unfortunately, I'll be saying sayonara to the broadcasting for a little while here, I think you guys are getting a pretty good indication as to what we might see coming up in the final 8 rounds of the Summer Series. Because this dude is insane. And Cade Madley's going to try what he can week in and week out to do something about it. But tonight, nothing could be done. Seth Carr on his way to winning yet again here at Thunder Valley. A 1-1 perfect day. He sweeps it all. Seth Carr on top here in Colorado. They're going to rename it to Colorado. Tish. 6th career overall win. Cade Matherly will finish up in second. 2-2 day for him. 6 points swayed in the favor of Seth Carr, but still a very, very solid day nonetheless. And Wyatt Grant picks up a 3-3 day, barring a late mistake, but it looks like T-Lane just tossed it away. So Grant's going to swing us through the valley one more time and bring us home for his podium finish. Top 11 on the lead lap. Everybody else a lap down. Wyatt Grant will pick up 3rd place. 3rd overall on the day for him. T-Lang 4th. Austin Partolo, a very good day for him. 4-5 scores. This is really impressive stuff. Nothing to sneeze about whatsoever. Oh, okay. I thought that was laying down, but it is still a 4-5 day. Cooper Hunt in 6th in this moto. Jeremy Siebold got back to 7th. It's like Nerona will be 8th. Yeah, Gebhardt is a lap down behind him. Race Coble in 9th. Evan Holt 10th. John Heilman is trying against hope to get back to him. Oh, he is. Holtzy was off the track. So Heilman's going to sneak a late top 10 here. Good ride for the 30 to get the job done. Yep. Well done indeed. Evan Holt down. Jeff Cooper, Cody Wells, Reno Brennan, Brayden Castellaneta, Seth Shirley, Chase Blakely, Lawson Dye, Kyle Boardman, Alec Horn, and Hunter Ash for your points finishers from this one. Dominant day for the 1 of Seth Carr. And again, a re-flash of that. Your 6th career overall win for Seth Carr. Crazy, crazy stuff out of the champ. And that's all she wrote, folks. That is going to do it for us and our coverage here on Start Your Systems for tonight's action from Thunder Valley 2026 Race Director Gaming Pro Motocross Championship. As mentioned, this is going to be the end of me specifically streaming it for a little bit here. I'm going to a lot of the upcoming races, so again, just rehashing this in case you missed it. I will be at High Point next week. I'm leaving Thursday. I don't really want to give up a whole night just to do this every single week anymore. So I'm sorry that we won't be back for a little bit, but hopefully we can either get someone in my place to take over the SYS stuff, or we will direct you in the direction of who takes over the streams from here. Want to give a big thanks to the Race Factor Gaming crew for having me on board all season long. 20 rounds of racing we covered for them. And if this is the end of it for this season specifically, we really appreciate working with them and all the help that they have given to us to provide, hopefully, a high quality stream for you guys to watch every single week. So appreciate them as well. And a massive, massive thank you to everybody that tuned in every single week over and over again. I mean, the viewership has been excellent all season long. I can't believe the numbers are still as high as they are to watch MXM every week, but you guys come out in buckets to watch these races, and it's been a lot of fun to do the coverage for you guys. So definitely not a goodbye. We will be back streaming at some point. I totally plan to do some streaming of different stuff, racing EU races when I can still, MX Bikes races and different things like that. But it's mostly going to be during the day and not at night. So instead I can focus on family time for that. At least for now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our coverage here tonight from Thunder Valley. Very much appreciate the support as always. And we will see you sometime soon, hopefully, here live on Start Your Systems. Tune into all of our stuff on the channels, regularly recurring, though, all of our videos that go up every week. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and all the above. One final shout out, of course, to the MXS Battlegrounds crew for all the work they did behind the scenes in making it possible for us to have great streams this year for you guys to watch. And we hope to see you guys soon here for more stuff on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen again. Great to stream for you guys. And we'll see you next time we see you. So long for now.
We'll be right back.